Welcome to another podcast brought to you by HFD Media. I'm here, KP, big man. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. So we've got the big man, Chris C, as ever. And tonight we've got a special guest, John E Radic.
That's right, John E Radic in the house.
Hey, there you go.
John E Radic.
Wow. How do you want us to just call you Johnny?
King John.
King John? King John?
Sire. Yeah, whatever you
John E Radic, the pro wrestling legend of Aussie Pro Wrestling Legend.
Yeah, world. You can say whatever
We'll just say world. We'll say world.
I do.
Wrestling to me is like soccer, man. They do it in every country, so we'll say world.
World. they do it in pretty much
They do,
every
man.
country.
They do.
They do.
So we've got a few people in the chat, man. We got Dams in the chat.
Where's the King of the North?
He's there. Where's the King of the North? Chunky says. They're all there. Reeves is there. Johnny G's there. Everyone's there. Dam is there. We can get Dam up. Look, Ron Simmons.
Ron Simmons, damn. There's a guy called Don't At Me.
Okay.
Mr. Lachlan is there. He's back talking about his island. And Johnny G says Chunky is wild. But so tonight, like we said, guys, we got special guest John E Radic in the house, like he just announced. We should have had an announcer here, man.
We should have had like a wrestling announcer here, like
Bruce Buffer or something.
to bring him on.
Bruce
But
Buffer, weighing in.
Croation, weighing in at 95 kilos.
You know, Bruce.
Wait a second, probably a little bit more. John E Radic.
there you go.
You know, like what Bruce Buffer used to do is like weighing in at 95 kilos. The way he used to do that voice.
I don't know why, but when they say kilos, this doesn't sound right.
Because you're so used to pounds.
Yeah,
It
Yeah.
doesn't sound
it
very.
doesn't roll off the tongue.
It's because it doesn't sound as
65 kilos.
because it doesn't sound as big. Like 65 kilos, like 100 and something. So it's like
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
doesn't,
400 pounds
Yeah.
sounds good.
it doesn't sound big.
Well, it's good to have you on the show, man. It's been a few months. I'm trying to get you in.
Yeah, you've been begging me for months, finally when I saw you on your knees, I said, you know what, I'll do it. I don't know what's coming next.
Well, I thought it was the right time because you are, near the end of your career,
Yeah.
and I thought it would be a good opportunity to hear your story and really get to know who Johnny Radic was as the wrestler and the person.
That still is. I've still got 1 more month to go, man.
One more month?
1 more month. 2 more matches, 1 more month.
Two more matches, 1 more month. So, is it just age catching up to you that you're retiring? What is it, man?
If it was age, it would have been a while back.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's time to give it up. It's waking up sore. I've
100%.
had 1,000 matches, and that's a lot in Australian wrestling. We promoted weekly events, sometimes more than once a week. Where the norm is usually once a month.
Yeah.
So for good 10 years, doing 60, 70 shows in that year, and wrestling more than once, doing shows where, I'll give you one story, we'd have a match at a pub, then go back to our gym for a birthday party show, and then send the next lot to the pub, and then come back and do that. So we'd have like 5 or 6 matches in one day.
Yeah.
And then I'm not much of a high-risk wrestler, but yeah, it's definitely caught up. I've been doing it since 2001, since I was 24 years old. So
Wow.
yeah.
So, let's start with how you got into wrestling. So you were always watching wrestling when you were a kid, like growing up.
Yeah, so pretty much by the age of 8, I watched Wild World of Sports. I'm not sure if you remember that.
Yeah.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, I love
it.
it.
6 hours of just
It was the best.
shit, but it was horse racing,
it was
cricket,
everything.
football, and it was like ugh.
Channel 9 would come on.
Yeah, my brother would love watching
Yeah.
cricket. He always loved watching the cricket. And then one day, Sergeant Slaughter and the Iron Sheik come on. Wow, this is cool. This is so cool.
Yeah.
At that time, the commie Russians and America were having a Cold War.
Yeah.
And Iraq.
So they were pushing Sergeant Slaughter. And,
And
Yeah.
Iron Sheik being from Iran, all the stuff with the hostage crisis. I remember all that stuff. And then, it was just something so different, and then from there, I didn't know when to see it next, so we would keep on watching Wild World Sports to watch that little window of wrestling that they put on. So then you see Andre the Giant matches, and then WrestleMania 1 came along, and we'll watch that, and we're taping it on our video recorders, and then from there, I just fell in love with it.
See, we were just talking about that before because Chris that you met in there, we got into wrestling because our uncle was a fanatic. He still is.
Yeah.
Our older uncle. our mum's brother, and Chris remembers watching WrestleMania 1
Yeah.
as well, because obviously he's a bit older than us. But that's what I'm saying. It's just when you saw that stuff, it was surreal, wasn't it? Like it was. That's what it was.
It was.
I mean, it was something new. You know, today you can get on the internet and everyone's smartened up to it all.
Yeah.
And you can find out who's who and who's.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Then, especially being a kid, you know, I suppose every kid feels that now. But just when I first saw Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, they're the two that.
Oh yeah, Andre the
stood
Giant.
out. And I was in love. You know, she went on when Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant had to wrestle each other at WrestleMania 3.
Yeah.
Like
I still remember him picking him up. Dude.
Yeah.
We were talking about that before. I like.
That was the best.
Yeah.
I was sad.
Yeah.
That
was his two favorites. Yeah.
You know, and then King Kong Bundy and Hulk Hogan in the cage. That's what I reckon ruined wrestling in Australia.
Chris reckons that was the best match ever. He loved it.
Because that's when then all my friends would come up to me and say, it wasn't real blood.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fake capsule.
Yeah.
But, you know.
And they weren't as good at selling it then.
They were just hiding the blade.
Yeah.
It was real blood.
Yeah.
But what they were doing, they were just hiding
how they did it.
Yeah.
They exposed something.
Yeah.
And from there, that's when I remember it's all fake, Radic. It's all fake, Radic. And I'm like, thinking, fuck off, man. You know, I'm just having fun watching this. I knew I was smartened up by then, right? Like, knew something was up. And then, you know.
But who cares?
But yeah, no, like fucking people crying. Like, my wife was crying, we were watching Ghost the other night with the kids for the first time. And she said, crying. I go, you've watched it like 5 times. But the same thing.
No, but yeah, well, like, exactly. What's the difference of when someone watches a movie, it's fake? Like, you get sad, there's blood, someone gets shot.
So if you can invest in that, in what we're doing. But I think, as you know, if you're trying to tell someone that it's full on real and it's full on a competitive sport, you know, these days people aren't buying that shit anymore. So they're just, I don't know. It's just take it for what it is.
The way I see it is like, because I always get that, it's fake, and I'm like, dude, come and have a body slam in the ring and tell me if it hurts or not. All right.
The one I said to you that was the best is I saw an interview with Goldberg.
Yeah.
And he goes, it's predetermined.
Yeah.
He goes, but he looked at the guy and he goes, can you pick up the Big Show?
Yeah.
He goes, because I did. He goes, is that fake?
Yeah.
Wrestling.
Which is not.
Yeah, the thing about pro wrestling is it is an art form.
Yeah, of course.
And to be able to do what, you know, the wrestlers do, you know, not just saying myself, I'm talking about
everyone that does it, yeah.
Especially those guys in the WWE and
yeah.
stuff. There's an art form to be able to jump off the top rope like Jonah
of course.
The J-Rock is, to jump on someone off the top rope and splash him.
And not kill him.
Not destroy him, not kill him.
Yeah. Not hurt them or yourself.
100%.
So I think if people kind of understood that aspect of it, then they go, oh yeah, I can actually respect what you do.
Of course.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, it was never, not many people respect, especially in Australia anyway. Australia's always been, you know, it's bullshit, it's fake, it's crap.
Is that why you think it hasn't taken off here, like somewhere else? Like, say, Japan is massive in that?
Japan's massive.
Like, Asia's massive, America's obviously massive. They got the 2 biggest, you know, like, why hasn't it not taken off here?
Because...
is it because of our other sports?
The guy that runs Haggle Co, right?
Yeah.
He runs a show and he gets 2,000 people there.
Yeah.
He's a businessman.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. Most of wrestling's run by people that wrestle. I'm not a businessman. Shit.
Yeah.
I love doing it.
Yeah. But you're not, 100%.
But, you know,
well, it's like the guy that owns AEW. He's not a wrestler, is he? He's just a businessman.
Just
a businessman.
Yeah, so what you need, you know, is people that aren't wrestlers, people that know what they're doing. And then, you know, it just is what it is, you know what I mean? It's I liken it to indoor soccer, you know. Yeah, everyone has, you know, you got your leagues, little leagues, but if you want to make it big, you use those leagues.
Yeah.
You know, you use the promotion that I run in to get experience. I mean, and then if you want to go further, I mean, look at the Demi Bennett.
That's what's her name on there?
Fucking
Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley.
So I don't know much about wrestling these days, but
Rhea Ripley,
she's almost the new face of WWE.
Okay.
She's from Adelaide,
and
she's like the women's champion now. And she
come from Riot City.
Yeah, that's right.
And they trained her, and she, you know, she's kicking ass. She's like, even to the point I'm not that interested in watching wrestling, but I'm interested in what they're doing with her. Not because she's just from Adelaide. She's really good.
She's good. Yeah, she's good.
I legit started losing interest like after the Attitude Era. Like
I think a lot of people did.
I stayed in touch with it, like just because I always liked it. But
I look, I love the Attitude Era. Like, so I grew up watching that. I think I used to like Hulk Hogan and all that, but there wasn't enough. I didn't get to watch it much. I don't know why. I didn't know it was on.
Like my brother George loved Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, okay.
So, and we were like Hulk Hogan. We used to like argue. Like,
but I love Stone Cold. Like,
he's the best.
We used to go to school together, and I used to just wear like Stone Cold t-shirts every time. Okay. Like at school, so I just was in love. He was
the best.
I don't know, it was just to me. I just like I was 100% Mark, 100%.
He was the best.
He was, man. He was. But
well, I grew up on the '80s stuff. Watching from WrestleMania 1, 2, 3,
Hulk Hogan,
and then when the Attitude Era came, and it was my uncle had Foxtel. So
that's what was same with us. Yeah.
And it wasn't going head to head, but if they were going head to head between WCW and Attitude Era Raw, I would have picked WCW.
Yeah,
that's what Hogan was.
I liked but thing was, I was saying to him, I liked WCW as well. Like I always said to Chris, like he gets a bad rep, like Goldberg and that, but they had Goldberg, they had Hulk Hogan, they had Savage.
Yeah.
Like it was fucking good.
When I was reading the magazines, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, they used to have.
That's what my uncle used to.
Yeah. Used to have dream matches.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan versus Sting or Hulk Hogan versus Lex Luger.
And then end up happening.
And WCW would do it, whereas WWF wouldn't put that much stock into a company. Wrestlers that come from other companies, they almost tear them down to build them up. Whereas WCW, NWA, whatever you want to call it at the time, they brought in the star and like Hogan straight away. Champion match.
I still remember watching. I still remember watching the heel turn. That night with Hogan. Like,
that was cool.
I was like, when Hulk Hogan went bad, because I grew up, he was like,
he was it.
I just could not believe he turned heel. Like, I could not believe it. Like, it was just.
It was surreal.
Wasn't it?
And I watched it on.
When he was turned heel, I was like.
I thought Macho Man was. I thought Hogan dropped Macho Man because he was the third.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then when he come in.
That was wild.
That was fucking good.
Yeah.
That was 19.
It was such good storytelling, like the way they did it.
It hooked me, man.
Yeah, man. Like that, it was really good.
That was probably the best part of wrestling ever.
Oh yeah, but I always say it to you. What killed WCW is what they did. Like the finger poke.
Oh yeah.
No direction is what.
Yeah, that finger poke to make Nash do that. They were fucked from there. That was just.
Yeah, but and then. As you said, no direction
after that. Man is the one boss. He's over there. And that's I don't care what anyone says. They go, Hulk Hogan didn't want to lose to people. Vince McMahon said, "You're losing.
That's right.
Hulk Hogan was told. He went out there and he beat everyone, kicked out of their finishing moves. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's so selfish." That's what the boss wanted him to do.
Yeah.
That's what the whole thing was about.
Of
Remark if you think anything different.
Yeah, of course.
And then when Hulk Hogan goes out there and goes to WCW, when you allow someone to have creative control, and then Kevin Nash has creative. Well, fucking hell, they're just, it's the inmates running the asylum.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah, and I loved when Kevin Nash and like when they defected. That was, and they're in the crowd and they're like, I got tickets.
NWO was wicked.
And it was so cool, man.
What they mind the language they fucked up with was when they went back to WWE, how they tried to sell NWO again. In WWE, it was terrible.
It wasn't as good.
Nowhere near.
WCW invasion was
good. Like it was just.
It was, but they didn't have they couldn't get like Goldberg and all them back then.
Buy out
the contracts.
Their contracts. They would have had to.
I always say people that don't like Goldberg are only people that have seen him on WWE.
I think Goldberg's cool.
Because if you watched him when he was WCW, it was immense. Yeah. Like it was.
He was very. Like one of those characters.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It was WC. If you've only watched him WWE, that's why you don't like it.
You can't appreciate Hulkamania if you weren't there for Hulkamania.
Yeah, that's right. 100%.
Tapes and stuff.
Yeah, of course. No way.
But just and you can't. It's the same with Maradona.
100%.
You can't appreciate Maradona unless you were at that time.
100%.
Oh, Messi, this, but Maradona at the time, it was the shit.
But that's what I say because I'm huge into soccer. And I say about Maradona, and I say like about the Brazilian Ronaldo. I'm like, mate, if you didn't see him, you don't know.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll read out a few chats before we keep going. So, a few people, they're going off. Mr. Lachlan says, KP, can you do 5 star jumps on the stream and Chris do 10 push-ups?
Yeah, no.
Not happening?
Couldn't happen.
No, it couldn't happen, man. It would look funny to see you do that. You don't want to see me do 10 star jumps, man. That's child's play.
Not here.
Krillin is in the house, Chris says. and then he does a high five or a pray, whatever he's doing. My opinion, chess is better. Chunky says chess is better than wrestling. He reckons. I think he's just being a.
I don't think that's
being a
true.
bit mean.
Chess
It's a
is
human
big.
game of chess.
Yeah.
Man. That's what wrestling is.
It is. It is.
So he's better.
Then Chris says Racho Man Mandy. He loved
Randy
he loved
Savage.
Randy Savage, so he's putting it in. Reborn says I have a Stone Cold T-shirt on right now.
I love Stone.
He's from England.
That's
It's one of our
that's
fans.
from
an
England.
old T-shirt he's got.
That's one of our fans from England.
Yeah,
And
probably.
then Damn says Rikishi is wild.
Rikishi was good. I love the characters back then.
1 beer, 2 beers, 3 beers, a shot of whiskey, and a margarita, and a Bloody Mary. That's what Damn says.
Wow.
There you go. So Rikishi. Remember when the whole Rikishi thing was going on when like about hitting Stone Cold with the car?
Oh,
And
I remember that.
that
Yeah,
was wicked.
I love those. See, those storylines are so good that you don't forget them.
Well, that's
I
what.
wasn't watching it then. I stopped watching.
Well, see, that's what I say that to people. It's like wrestling during the Attitude Era, especially. It was like the man soap opera.
Yeah, it was.
It was. You know what I mean? Like you're saying, if you get invested into these things, you can understand why someone gets invested in wrestling. Like it's.
So if you're interested in Home and Away and Neighbours,
Yeah,
stuff
exactly.
like what he's interested in, like
Of course. It's like, you know, I'm a...
Like in, wrestling's the same.
That's right.
I mean, what it was in the 70s, which is
Well, isn't there talking about that? Isn't there a what's his name's on life support? I heard today.
Who's that?
Billy Starr, Billy Graham.
Oh yeah. I do.
Yeah, like today.
I don't know.
Apparently he's
His wife.
Yeah.
So he's one of because you said the 70s. It like clicked to me. So
That's sad. So you started to what, 2002?
2001.
2001.
So I would have started earlier in '98, and I went to a wrestling show with my mate, Croation mate. It was at high school, and it was all the old school wrestlers like Frank Carpenter, Mario Milano,
Oh,
all
yeah.
that.
Spiro Sorion.
all the old 46-year-old fat wrestlers, wog wrestlers.
Who's that guy?
What I am now.
I reckon I was on a show once with Hitman, something?
George Julio.
George Julio.
So George Julio was there too.
Yeah.
I spoke to him and I go, I want to be a wrestler. And he goes, I'll come train you, come to Melbourne. So I was all ready to go to Melbourne. And when I finally got on the phone call, I organised with the Croation family to stay there with them. And I was going to train. He goes, oh, you're too small. Sorry. And I'm like, oh, damn, you know. Then a couple of years later, I got another show called GCW. Jag was on there, Havoc, Super Freak, and all these guys. I'm like, fucking, you know, they told me I was too small, you know. But then these guys are wrestling all from Adelaide, and I go up to Robin Plant, who ran original PWSA back in 2001. And I go, you know, I want to become a wrestler, or a referee, or a ring crew. I'll just do anything. And they go, you can train to be a wrestler. I go see him. And there was this old man named Cole Devani, right? And then and he goes, yeah, I'll train you. And I went down there. I think after the second lesson, I was training him.
Oh.
That's how fucking good I was, man.
So he picked it up that quick.
Yeah, I was just training him, yeah. And he was like, is this how you're supposed to do it? I said, yeah. No joking. Yeah, so I got to train, and I did all right. I caught on pretty quickly. Started helping to train people about a year later. And yeah, I was trained by basics, basically by Tony Stone and Steve O'Neill. These people that you may or may not know that. And they gave me my first start, and then from there, you know, had my first match September 2001. So Tuesday, September 11th, 2001, I was told I'm about to wrestle that night.
Oh, when
Cole,
when
yeah.
9/11 happened.
So I'm at
Wow.
my training, and Cole goes, all right, you and Buster are going to wrestle. Cool. So I get home, and I reckon it's going to be on the news, right? They're going to talk about my first match. And then fucking planes hit the buildings and took away all of my steam, man.
Oh, man.
They didn't put my story on the news because that happened. But yeah, no, that night I come home all excited, and then then the fucking September 11th happens,
Yeah.
and then just glued to the TV, and then 4 days later, you know, Ansett goes to shit. I remember that happened.
Yeah.
And I had my first match, and yeah, I haven't looked back.
Were you John E Radic on that first game, on that first match?
So yeah, so I wasn't I had a scratch match with Buster. I wasn't supposed to be on that.
Buster, I remember him. Yeah.
So Blue Blood and Jimitsu. Remember Blue Blood?
I remember him. Yes, he came. when I was
Did he?
yeah.
Oh, sorry, he came somewhere. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
No. I remember he was at like when I was doing it back in the day.
Yeah,
he was there. Yeah.
Just started.
I met him a few times.
Yeah, so he was wrestling before I even started.
Yeah.
And him and his mate cancelled their booking, didn't do the show, so I got put in there instead. And yeah, it was so I had to come up with a name, and people going, "Oh, you look like Juice Bigelow. Call yourself Juice Bigelow." And I'm like, "Oh fuck, I'm not calling myself Juice Bigelow."
That would have been funny.
I originally wanted to be called Mimic. Before Mimic.
Really?
But yeah, and the whole point was I wanted to go, all right, well, one match I'll wrestle like Macho Man, so I'll mimic a wrestler. And, Cole Devani was so 1970s, 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s, old school wrestling. If you want to be a clown, join a circus. Like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
So, John E Radic, so just, someone said it's a play on erratic.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was, rather than saying Johnny, which is what most people call me, is Johnny, it was John E Radic.
I like it.
And I had like, a day to come up with a name, so I went with that. It's pretty shit. It's like
it works for you, man. It's worked for you. So, but I like going back to Cole Devani.
Yeah.
What was he like? What was he like to train under? Because I trained under him once.
Yeah.
For a few, or maybe like for a year, and he was hard, man.
Hey. Well, Monster Factory.
Yeah, I was in the Monster Factory for.
Oh, he's all part of XAW and all that stuff.
Remember we left XAW because you came in and told us you gotta come get real training.
Yeah.
That's what you said to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went over, and you were training us.
Probably.
Yeah, you were 100%.
Everyone forgets that I trained a lot of people in their basics. But yeah, I don't remember.
So Cole Devani, I remember he used to like grab you and like put you in a headlock and then get his knuckle and like hit you here.
So yeah.
And like you'd be dying, man. Like, help me, and like you can't even get out of it.
So in wrestling, you'd hold it, headlock like that. But if you really wanted to fuck with them,
you do it the other way.
Put that in there. So,
yeah.
He should do that. Yeah, to me, he did that a few times.
Yeah, I did it to us all the time. Look at my thumb. That's my left thumb.
Yeah.
Swapped him over. But yeah, he was tough. He was good.
Yeah.
Because, one thing he definitely installed in us, which was basics first, and safety, or that 100% first. And once you understood that, then it was you could do anything. If you knew how to fall, you could do any fall. And he was tough. And then there was a lot more people that didn't make it than did make it, because they just couldn't handle his style of tough, and then they might have gone off and did their own thing, or they just didn't wrestle at all anymore after that. And we stuck with it. But yeah, he was an arsehole. He was a great guy. He was all those things.
Yeah. I liked him. He was nice.
But that's the thing. That's what you needed though. I became his mate later.
Yeah.
And whereas when I was training people, I was trying to be a mate too, and it doesn't work that way. But yeah, he was but that was good. He didn't want to be a mate. He wanted to teach you to be a wrestler.
Well, I'll tell you, in soccer, the mistake that coaches always make, and they always fail as a coach, is if they try to be friends with the players as well.
Yeah, so it's
because you got to be more like a father figure.
Yeah, that's what he was.
Friend.
Yeah,
well, that's what I'm saying. But that's what he's saying. Later on, you might become friends with them, but when you're actually training them, you can't be their mate, because a mate doesn't drop someone, or do you know what I mean?
Doesn't yell at you either.
He doesn't yell at you.
He'd go,
you know what I mean?
Nuts.
Reborn said he sent a picture through of his top, man.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
So he's got the old Austin 316. There you go. So he sent that through.
Yeah. So Cole.
He was.
Like I said, he wouldn't be able to get away with
what he's doing now.
He does today, because there's too many fucking snowflakes.
Yeah, but that's what
100%.
I say that we say that about coaches now.
Yeah.
The shit some of the shit I had from coaches, it's not flying today. No way.
Do you think that if you didn't have Cole as your guy that taught you and molded you, you'd be the same wrestler you are today?
No. It's just I don't think so, because I don't know. I would have done it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't, I wouldn't have gone into the backyards or anything else like that. I just don't know. there wasn't anyone else.
Yeah.
It was him, and then after that, then other companies started having opening up schools, but a lot of them the trainers were the guys that Cole trained.
So how many gyms is that what we call it? How many gyms were there here doing wrestling?
There was
at that time there was nothing.
Nothing.
Around about 2006,
five.
It was
XAW,
which
is that the one you were
Well,
with?
this is what I want to.
Who you were with first?
Yeah, because this
and so there was what, 2 or 3 at the time?
Just two.
Two. But this is what I want to ask you. Like, you saw XAW form, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is from guys that went to the Monster Factory, left.
Mm-hmm.
The training,
Were they,
they weren't. I mean, yeah. I'm not going to mention names, but they weren't like. They're good now. They're
Wait.
Wait.
Why aren't you mentioning names?
I don't.
We don't discriminate, man.
No. I don't want to mention names.
I'm only joking.
Because these guys are good blokes.
I'm only joking.
But like, we went there. We went there, and like, we didn't. I went there, and I didn't know what was going on. I just rocked up, and we're doing it. It was fun. Coming from Cole Devani, when you saw that, did that upset you?
Okay, so there's 3 sides to every story, right? There's theirs, there's ours,
and the truth.
Right? Exactly. So, from our point of view, if you weren't with us at that time, you were a backyarder. You didn't take it seriously. And you see that today with other places where they go, oh, there's a company that was trying to put up a wrestling show last March, and they've been promoting it for a year and a half. I wouldn't even call it a company; it was just some people, and and people going like, just getting stuck into them, like what we used to get stuck into XAW and anyone else. But it was like Slater used to be part of this thing called SAW or some other thing
he was
down south.
He
AFW or something, yeah. So it was the different ones. That was backyard. I mean, Jag and Havoc come from the backyard. Backyard stuff and Coops and But when Cole Devani was running his Monster Factory gym, like I said, it was very militant, and it was like anything that wasn't being trained by a 40-year veteran who was showing you what to do, how to do it, rah. When you saw shows before there was training happening, it was bad. You can watch, Mimic and Grimm's. They'll be the first one to tell you. The very first match they had was on the same night I had my match. Working the wrong side, landing really dangerously. And then, this is how, from what I remember, I was there all the time. I was at the Monster Factory all the time. I was there Mondays, Wednesdays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays sometimes. So I was there for a lot of the history of it. So when guys like yourself would come in, you got some aspect of training and then took it out, and it was better than what the fuck it was before. Right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So then, and I think the turning point came when Tony Stone come in, and they just started becoming Riot City at that time.
That's when I left.
When you left, yes. But Tony Stone come in, and I think from there they went leaps and bounds on. And I mean, they might disagree. I hope I don't. I mean, that's something that I remember. I might be wrong. I've got Alzheimer's for all I know.
Yeah.
I don't even know where I am now.
The question that I ask is it Cole Devani, you said?
Cole
Devani. How does a person in Adelaide be a 40-year veteran of wrestling?
Because wrestling's always been.
So who taught him?
Moses. Not really. That's just like that was funny, but it wasn't.
I thought there's a wrestler called Moses.
I just thought it was someone's name. No, but you know what I mean? Like, you get the point that I'm making? Like,
yeah.
Like, how does this guy was born and bred in Adelaide, this bloke?
Yeah, so Cole's from Murray Bridge.
There you go.
And then he didn't have the schools like we have now.
Yeah.
But
who taught him? Just
he
had to learn from someone.
He would have just learnt from people. Like, they would just learn basics.
Yeah.
They didn't do the same amount of stuff that you see today.
Yeah. Because it was simpler wrestling.
A lot simpler.
Yeah.
You threw off the ropes.
I mean, like,
barely.
Even when you look at it, like Hulk Hogan's finishing move was a leg drop.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Now,
yeah,
like,
yeah. That's right.
Yeah, so I mean, in wrestling you have spots. And
Yeah.
It's like a whole bunch of moves put together, and if you go right back to the very beginning, it would have been what was the closest thing to a real amateur wrestling bout.
Yeah.
Which they would have given a little bit of give to get into this move, and they would last a fucking hour.
Yeah.
And that was done in the circuses, and then what they'll do is, to make that a little bit more exciting this time the guy would, pull his hair a bit. Oh, he's a nasty son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You damn it.
Yeah.
And then, a bit of a pull on the tights, or and then and it evolved to the point now that you look at '98, whatever it was, where Undertaker throws Mankind off a cage, whatever that
it was unheard of,
whatever that thing is, it's all under the umbrella of pro wrestling.
Yeah, of course.
But whatever, so I look at it this way, like someone goes, "Who's the best wrestler in the world?" Like there isn't such thing as a best wrestler in the world. There might be a lot of. It's like us saying who's the best actor in the world. Your opinion is who the best actor is in the world. Like Robert De Niro or Clint Eastwood. It's who your favorite is.
Well, I'd say that to Chris. I said these days. I always say it to him. I'm like, you could say who the best wrestler is. I go 60% of it is what he does on the mic in the WWE.
Yeah, but the thing is that it goes to it's who likes that one person a lot more. So
of course.
Yeah, so like there could be someone you never heard of.
Yeah, of course.
There was a better. It's different aspects.
Like,
my success in, if you want to call it success in
success to you, of course it is. Yeah,
is there was a missing part of wrestling that I slipped into.
Yeah.
Everyone else is trying to do
the flips,
the flippity stuff, the crazy stuff, and there was something that wasn't there that I did, which was a little bit of comedy, a little bit of a lot less than what they were doing when it came to the physical side.
People liked it,
but I found my niche, and people loved it. Like to the point that I stood out like dog's balls. I'm 5'6".
Yeah,
that's with my boots on. At that time, 60 something kilos, and the way whatever I did was just different to what everyone else was doing. So I stood out.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys that came in at the same time as me, guys like Chopper Coleman and Cannibal Chris Taylor, we had a little bit more, what's the word, character, pizzazz.
Yeah.
But the guys that started before us, they were more of the backyardy wrestlers, and they were doing the death-defying stuff. That shit that we wouldn't do. Well, I wouldn't do it anyway because it's too dangerous. But they did it perfect. They did it great. I can't fault them. It's just a different thing. They were awesome at what they did.
Yeah.
I was good at what I did.
Yeah.
And then some people are the shits. There are a lot of people that are the shits. But they might be really good in the ring. But fuck, their mic skills are shit.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in the local wrestling. But in American, like WWE, you can't be shit because if you're shit, you're not going to be in that position.
Yeah, of course.
100%.
But like I said, everyone's got their strengths. A lot of people got their weaknesses as well.
So if I said to you, I said to Chris, we're going to ask you, because we ask everyone that's a wrestling fan on our show, who's the Mount Rushmore of wrestling to you? Then
me?
Yeah, for you. That's why we said it's an opinion.
Yeah, an opinion. Am I allowed to say me?
If you like. I can put your name first.
2001 me when I first started.
2005.
Obviously Hogan.
Yeah.
Andre, Flair and Savage, I'd say.
Yeah.
And my top 10, if you add to that, would be like if I could put 10 on there. The top 10.
Yeah.
The Road Warriors.
Yep.
So both of them. Michaels, Hart, Vader. There's one more, I can't remember who it is. So I always go up to 9 and go, shit, I can't remember who it is. Did I say Sting?
You even said Sting.
Blonde Sting.
Yeah,
Blonde Sting.
Black was alright, but
I think Blonde Sting was better
so
than
much energy.
Than Crow.
He was good, wasn't he?
Fuck, he's good.
He's good now. Have you seen him wrestle now?
I think Blonde Sting was better than the Crow Sting.
So much the energy.
Yeah, I think he was.
When he was black and white, he was going up against. He was in a time of wrestling where nothing was black and white.
Yeah.
He didn't have bad guys or good guys. He was
of course.
It was all mixed. But Sting, to me, when he was blonde, just had he gone to WWF instead of Warrior being there, it would have been a big difference.
100%.
Yeah, he was so exciting. Like I watched something the other day. I can't remember. I watch more stuff now than I did in the last 20 years of wrestling.
Yeah.
I stopped watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Since I became one, it was all
you focused on doing it.
And I watch a WrestleMania here and there or something. So I didn't follow like the Summer of Punk. I never saw that era at all.
I did.
Yeah. So
I loved it.
Chris loves CM Punk.
I love CM Punk.
So I don't know what the big pizzazz is.
Yeah, but I hate him.
Yeah.
I hate him.
Yeah, he doesn't like him, but
No, but it's funny because I've heard stories about him. Now it's funny how Johnny's saying it because remember I said that thing when Joe Rogan was talking about him. Apparently he's really crap.
Is that
Punk.
Punk?
Like he's very unathletic.
I remember.
Like Joe Rogan was saying about it when he went to the UFC. He goes, "You could teach a kid to punch." He goes, "It took him 6 months to learn how to punch." Like he goes, he was just bad at things.
I'm not going to mention names, but I know someone that used to train me, and they used to train with Punk in the dojo in not New Japan, NWA in America, Santa Monica, right?
Yeah.
And I remember him saying to me that Punk was there, he couldn't even do like a Japanese roll.
See, that's what I've heard.
But everyone's different,
No,
man.
that's what
Like
I mean.
he used his strengths in different
right.
ways, and he got there.
If we were to go by the measurement of, so in wrestling, this is what you basically do in your warm ups.
Yeah,
you do
your
a
rolls.
forward roll, you do a backward roll, you do a left arm roll, a right arm roll, and fucking a few other things where you do your bump and
the basics.
And some guys, they might, they're not that good at them, but in the ring, this like I said, this is why wrestling is different. You can have someone that says you need to be the fittest that Antonio Inoki told you. You need to be fit. You need to be able to take 50,000 chops. You need to be able to do all these squats and rah. And then you got someone like Dusty Rhodes, who was
100%.
one of the best. And he was, I'm not calling him a fat slob. I'm sure he could go an hour.
He could.
He could. I can go half an hour, not at the pace of a Will Ospreay and all that.
No.
Types of guys, but I could go half an hour. I've done an hour match before. It wasn't the greatest match ever, but when you know how to pace yourself in what is a controlled environment, like I said, you can't just umbrella wrestling being one thing.
Yeah, of course.
What my opinion is, I'm pretty sure there's other people, if they are listening to this, going, "Oh, he's full of shit." They might be full of shit, but it might not be either. There's no such a thing as a wrestling expert. No one's a fucking expert in anything. That's what I've realized in life. No, fucking COVID experts. Fucking people.
We're going to get banned now.
No, but that's what I agree with. I 100% agree with you, because I say that to Chris, because I've said it about him, like how people hate Goldberg, and I'm like, maybe he wasn't as talented, but he used.
Did you like him?
I loved him.
And did millions of other people?
No,
like
exactly.
him?
No. But I'm saying, I say to Chris, I go, his strength in the ring was his strength, and he used it. He could pick up people when no one else could fucking do it, and he made it look good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he worked to his strengths. Yeah.
Exactly. And he worked his strengths, and did it make money for him and the people around him? Then, you can't fault the man for...
Yeah, 100%.
Like they say Hulk Hogan, he can't wrestle. Well, what we're doing isn't wrestling anyway.
Right,
No.
You train wrestling. If someone comes up to me, in the locker room and goes, "You're on a wrestler," I go, "No, you're not. Don't say that to me."
Yeah.
What we do is wrestling, and the thing that we're doing is we call it wrestling.
Yeah,
but if we want to go there and have a real wrestling match,
you got to be Kurt Angle.
That's why Olympic wrestlers,
100%.
got no. I've spoken to some. They got no respect for what we do. Call it wrestling. I said, I'm trying to explain it to them. I said, "This is what we're doing." Oh, no, fuck you. He's not wrestlers.
Well, that's why it's World Wrestling Entertainment, isn't it? Like, because you're entertaining people.
Well, that's why Vince McMahon, he had to bypass all the regulations.
Yeah.
He had to tell some of these.
Admit that it was predetermined.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. It's like watching a show.
But the thing is,
watching a movie.
what I'm saying is, who cares if they know the outcome? As long as I don't know.
Yeah,
100%. That's right. And how many top line sports could be match
like
fixed?
I didn't know at the end of Usual Suspects that Kevin Spacey was going to be Kaiser Soze.
You've just ruined it for like half.
But do you get my point?
Like, just watch the 2018 World Cup final.
Yes.
Croatia, France.
Yes.
If there wasn't a more fucking rigged game that there was, did you see the final score?
I can't remember it.
Yeah, France.
Yeah.
Won the game.
Yeah.
And it was a rigged. Referee was fucking French. He was the captain's cousin.
Was it?
Yeah, the coach.
See, I don't know. I never watched the game, so always think that the Crows rig everything.
No, he's talking about Croatia.
I know. I'm just saying.
Oh.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Get sarcasm. Fucking, I'm just saying, every sport can be rigged.
Of course.
100%.
But wrestling is not, like I said, it is what it is. Anyone that thinks anyone that tries to make it anything other than what it is, and then they start arguing over like that wrestler's shit or whatever, I just look at it and go, you know what? There's a lot more people ahead of me in making a lot more money in 1 year than I'll make in a lifetime.
Yeah.
In wrestling, and people go, "Boo, he sucks.
Who cares?
But who cares?
Fuck.
But then you're not allowed to boo people in wrestling anymore.
You can't boo
Same
people.
thing in AFL, yeah.
Are you
that's
kidding me?
So
Can't boo,
stupid.
You can't boo.
Can't boo people in
Well, how
wrestling.
you meant to? What, if a
So
heel,
heel. You can't be
if a
heel.
heel can't
They
be
have to- they
booed,
want-
that's
They
ridiculous.
want you to do this.
Oh.
You have to X them. How's that?
Dude, that's the whole point
we
of
just got-
wrestling,
No, but
man.
See, I've said this to you. I've said this to you, and
my God.
Johnny obviously knows a bit about soccer. He's talked about it. If they took a leaf out of the European book with soccer and that, settle the fuck down. Mate, the shit that the supporters say to some of the players over there and to the refs, everything, and no one cares.
And here,
Fucking settle
someone
down.
boos and it's like,
No, but like the,
racism.
the umpires here are like protected, like they're an alien, like they're a protected species. You see in a soccer match, if it's United Liverpool or something, they'd be spitting in the ref's face, yelling, and no one cares.
I'm just fucking around. You're allowed to boo in wrestling.
No, but like,
I can't tell if you're fucking real or not. See, man, he's got it
But
down
the
pat.
football.
No, the football's
bullshit.
true.
That's bullshit.
That's what I was
Okay,
saying.
It's bullshit because at the end of the day, fucking if I don't like you, freedom of speech.
Of
is
course.
being fucking shat on. You can't.
100%.
You
the problem is, Johnny, is they're trying to tell us that people are booing
because of racism.
Franklin because he's an Aboriginal, but they're not. They're booing him because he's shit now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
What about all the fucking other dickheads to boo? Like,
Yeah, of course.
You should be allowed to boo for whatever reason you
Yeah,
want
of
to boo
course.
for.
100%. But imagine that they took out of wrestling. I mean, that's wrestling
got-
finished.
You got a few questions, man. So I'll give you a question. Where's the Johnny's asking you, where's King of the North? And then Rob says, question, are their weight classes still valid? Should there be more, less, different? Saying, should there be weight classes in wrestling? I mean, because Rey Mysterio fights the Big Show, doesn't he? There's not a weight class.
It makes for an interesting match, so no.
Yeah, no.
No.
Everyone wants to see David and Goliath.
Yeah.
In that respect.
Dam says, this is funny. Dam goes, imagine not being able to say, you suck to Kurt Angle.
Exactly.
You are
But that
not
was-
that good.
That was like, for 10 years,
Yeah.
was like the biggest thing ever.
Yeah,
He went out and he fed off of it.
Yeah. So what you can't do in wrestling these days is obviously, the homophobic.
Yeah,
things used
well,
to be
that's
the biggest ones. Where
yeah.
you go,
Yeah, I, was
Whatever.
called, I remember
all the shit they say, whatever.
I was on the Snake Pit show
Mm.
years ago, and one of the guys called me a faggot, and I called him a faggot back.
Yeah.
Right?
So you're
And-
not allowed to do that.
I know, but I did it,
But you shouldn't. Yeah.
but I got
You
away.
should never
But
react.
like, I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have. I remember you said to me, "What'd you say, man?" I'm like, "Oh, I didn't."
Yeah.
But it was.
Let them say.
Say whatever they want, yeah.
Like
I know it was just a reaction.
if you got like so I won't mention any names, but Viper goes. Remember Viper?
Yeah, I
He goes
remember.
up to a fan.
John says Edge was the best.
Hey, he's alright. He's good. Yeah.
I
think
liked
he's good.
Edge. I liked Edge too.
But he goes up to a fan and says, and she got one arm. And goes up to the husband and goes, "Oh, did he eat your arm? Because he's fucking fat." And then she fucking flipped.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I said to him, "You can't say that to them. They can say whatever they want to, but now you have to be a bit more PC. You gotta, by screaming out, you're gonna upset someone."
From a
So-
sporting like side of things, because I've done it too, like on the soccer field, you should never say anything back to the crowd. And you know what?
Yeah.
The things they say, mate, like I've said to Chris, people have said some outlandish shit to me. Like that, so and so's a slut, whatever. And I'm saying, mate, I don't give a fuck because they don't actually know me.
Yeah, I used to tell you, it's something I'm definitely not proud of. But I used to go to soccer, Melbourne Croatia games.
Oh, they were crazy, bro.
Against Adelaide City and stuff.
Oh.
Zoran Matic was.
Zoran Matic was crazy.
Yeah, he was the coach for Adelaide City.
Yeah, he was
But,
mad.
like, we would scream out stuff and
He had a. Do you know him?
I know his nephew.
He had a bad accident. He fell off a ladder. Zoran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about the older one, the coach.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
coach.
the
Yeah,
coach,
yeah.
So I said some terrible things. I'm not proud of it all.
Oh no, but
But you know what? He no-sold me. He
No.
fucking did not look at me.
Oh, really?
Fuck you!
yeah, they
Fuck
didn't
him,
care.
this fucking, and he's spitting and
Yeah, they
and-
wouldn't care.
and
Zoran
he-
wouldn't have
He
given a
turned
fuck.
around and gave it to me, and that would have been awesome.
No. But he would have.
That's what you wanted.
Zoran would have. He would not have given it too far.
Don't give two shit.
I actually-
He got paid more money.
Exactly.
Than the coach for LA City.
Exactly.
And then he ended up. I'm sure that they beat us anyway.
The Melbourne Croatia, when they used to come here, was crazy games because they were
Yeah.
mad.
But that was
Good
us.
team.
The crowd was us.
Yeah, of
The Adelaide
course.
Croatian
Of course.
going-
Yeah, no, they used to support them. Yeah,
we used to be
because they
fucking-
didn't have a
There was
team
always
here.
fights with
Well-
fights West Adelaide
Yeah.
versus Melbourne
Well, it was
Melbourne
because-
Knights.
It was only because Melbourne, like, they didn't have the Croatians didn't have a team here.
No.
So they supported Melbourne, which is fine.
It's fine,
That's
yeah.
fine.
Then that changed to Knights.
Yeah, Knights, yeah. That's where
That's
Viduka and that was. I still remember going to watch West Adelaide, Melbourne Knights. Mark Viduka was like 17, and he hit this shot that hit the crossbar. That's still rattling.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that high marsh?
I was.
And then he went overseas like a couple months later.
You there for Murray's fucking world record goal?
You know my dad, right? Because my dad has been in the federation since. My dad was the founder of a club here, so he's been in the federation since 1970. And my dad was there for a federation meeting. All the presidents were there, right? They were walking down from the meeting. Everyone was losing it, and they looked up at the TV and they see it and they're like, "What happened?" They're like, Damien Murray just broke the world record. They were they were there for a meeting.
Bought a beer. Like
Yeah,
2
yeah.
beers. I was walking on that side on I can't remember what side, Mantle Street.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I had,
Yeah.
lost it. What the fuck? He scored within 2 seconds, man.
Crazy.
Right from.
He was a nasty cunt too, man. I played against him a lot.
Right.
Very nasty.
Really?
But good nasty. That's the way that I am up front. Like, you got to be. He was a nasty boy.
Right.
But not in a bad way nasty. Like, nasty as in, like, we'll give it to you. Like, you come near him, like, step on your toes, hit you, fucking...
Yes, my brother used to be trained by Albie Kidd.
Yeah.
Remember
Albie was coaching, yeah.
So Albie used to, come and teach us. To the younger guys. He goes, if you got someone and you're being marked, just grab the ball.
Albie was dirty.
Yeah.
Albie was a bit...
Heel, mate. It's good.
Yeah, he was a bit dodgy later on. He started trying to put his son into a team when his son was shit.
Oh, really? I was going to ask you...
Yeah, true.
I was going to ask you, so what was your favourite personnel? Like, what, a face or a heel?
Oh, heel. Oh, I love
Heel, how can you not like a heel?
Heel was fun. Yeah, he was fun.
No, but even in everything, it's like the Sith are cool, heels are cool. Like, it's...
It's what you, like, right now I'm a face. And because I've been around 20 years, and I play around with it, I'm comfortable being one.
Yeah.
I think anyone starting off as a face, it's a lot easier being a heel, because it's a lot easier to get more people to dislike you than to get people to like you.
Of course.
So I want to be a heel straight away, and Cole goes, "No, you're not be a heel." So anyway, I stayed face, and I didn't do any of the stuff that I did. I was trying to stay. I was wrestling more for Cole than the fans.
Yeah.
And then PWSA got sold to a guy called Super Freak, MPW. And then I started working. I was working as a garbo with him. He was the driver, and I was the last of the people
on the
back.
Oh, really?
And that's where this comes from.
Yeah. Isn't that the biggest arms in Adelaide wrestling?
Yeah, it's South Australian, Australian wrestling.
Australian wrestling.
Used to dump those black tubs.
Yeah.
And it caused this fucking...
Yeah, that little bolt in the forearm. Yeah.
So that's why I posed that way.
Yeah.
So he took over, and I'm talking to him. I said, look, make me heel. I promise you, I'm gonna give you something. Your show's gonna be so different with me being as a heel.
Yeah.
And then Cole spewing and goes, dickhead, rah, rah. And then turned heel, and I had the most fun ever. It was the XAW guys. I'm not sure if you were there, but I was wrestling Super Freak at Port Adelaide, and I made my entrance, and the barrier was right up against the ring, so you couldn't walk down. So I had to walk across between the rope and the barrier.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how I started doing my dance.
Because
they would get stuck. You'd be like, "Oh, you suck, you fucking dickhead."
Yeah.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Yeah. Not Matt Damon. Damon Matthews.
Damon Matthews.
Yeah.
Yes. Carver.
Carver.
Yeah. He was a psycho.
He's cool. He was cool after. But at that time, they didn't like me. Well, we didn't like each other.
No.
And that's how my dance was born and getting stuck into fans. And then from there, I had people wait by my car wanting to beat me up.
Yeah.
Spit on my car because fucking...
I got the best question I've ever seen to do with wrestling. He said, "What's a heel? Not a heel, and a face." I'll let you explain.
Okay. Do you want to
So a heel, a heel's a bad guy, a face is a good guy. Is that the best way of putting it for him?
It's wrestling terminology.
It's the wrestling term for a good guy and a bad guy.
Yeah, so a baby face.
Yeah, a baby face is a good guy.
And a heel. You watch the old Bugs Bunny card.
Yeah.
And you'll see someone that looks like they'll explain it in those.
Yeah.
Not about wrestling, but where it came from, like the word heel.
Yeah.
So
kids are heel.
I've got the promo, man. So John E Radic is actually retiring, correct?
Yep.
So when in June? Is that right?
On my
So
birthday.
When's your birthday?
June 10th.
My birthday's June 9th.
Oh,
There you
So
go.
I've
You
got-
got the Geminis.
Yeah, so I've got I've got the promo here. I'll bring it up for everyone to see.
that?
Yeah,
Okay.
so we got that. Bring that up. So you're wrestling on your birthday.
Yeah, so the first one, so the one that was a tag team.
Yep.
So the guy I'm teaming up with, we won the tag belts at the last show, and we became champs.
So you are the dream team.
We're the dream team, but he's also the guy I'm wrestling because he's the double champion.
Oh my god.
Tag team champion and PWSA champion. So we beat the tag champs. These other two guys, Weaver and Viper, have challenged us on May 27th for the tag team titles. When we beat them, we're going to give up the tag belts. They can go in a tournament, whatever, and then we go 1-on-1. So I trained Acid Hayes. He's like there's a few wrestlers that I trained a lot, but there's a few standouts, and sometimes we call them the Golden Boys. Like,
Yeah.
I get shit.
Of course.
Like Golden Boy. So and Acid is the guy, the one that there's been a few, like another one called Axel Impact. Everyone loves Axel.
I remember Axel.
Axel's,
I think I had a few.
So-
Did I have a match with him?
I reckon he did.
Might have had a tag match with him.
So will
Yeah.
you? Is it going to be like, let's say, like the WWE? Are you going to put this guy over because you're retiring, or
I don't know. I'm trying to beat him.
you can- yeah,
And he's going to try and beat me.
Yeah.
But my destiny
Yeah.
is I've done so much. That I believe I've done so much.
you've put a lot of people over
And
already.
For me to put a full stop and an exclamation mark is to retire with a championship belt.
There you go.
And that's
Fair enough.
and I think that's fair enough. I'll if it works the other way, good on him. But I'll be trying my damnedest to walk away with
There
that.
you go. So
But-
do you consider? Sorry, Chris. Before you consider yourself a pioneer of wrestling here,
Not of wrestling per se.
or
but
you know, like
I'm a
of
part-
growing it here?
Okay, yes,
Let's say
so. But in the Cole Devani would have been.
he's
part of that.
definitely a pioneer
Yeah,
from what you're
pioneer,
saying.
and there's a big gap.
Yeah.
So if there was wrestling, it would be they would wrestle so spontaneously. Wouldn't be
Yeah.
a little bit hits here and there. I didn't even know about.
Yeah, yeah,
The one I went to in '98, they used a lot of the Melbourne wrestlers like Mario Milano.
yeah.
And those guys probably would have wrestled in Melbourne if they were from Adelaide more often than they
Yeah.
wrestled in Adelaide. So I think in 1999, Jag and Havoc were doing backyard wrestling, and a guy called Steve O'Neill as well, but not together. I'm not sure if this is the way the story went, but this is the best from I've been told. They got together with a promoter that wanted to start promoting. Her name was Robin Plant, and they found Cole Devani to train, and they all got together. They started training at I believe at North Adelaide Swimming Centre. There was a room in there, a boxing ring. And then from there, they started running shows with a few interstate guys. So those guys, like the guy called Sledge and I can't remember some of their names. Before I started, but yeah, these are the guys that built what's happening now.
Yeah.
The foundations, and then
Yeah.
people like myself came in there, added what we added to it.
Fair enough. That's good.
When I think of like Australian wrestling, pretty much the four guys I think of is you, Jag, Havoc, and
and Johnny Radic.
no, there was one
Just
more.
put Johnny Radic twice, man. Come on.
And
Johnny
David
Radic,
Storm and David Storm.
Can't you just put Johnny
No,
Radic
you
98,
four?
Johnny Radic 05? All right, man.
Yeah, those four that like if I ever think of Australian wrestling, it's always you guys. Because I just think that like those four have just done like what they've done for Australian wrestling is
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, other people will write mine.
Of course.
I've done what I've done.
Yeah, of course.
I can't know what I've done, but there are people that come up to me and go, if it wasn't for you, I'd be on the streets, or if it wasn't for this.
Yeah, that's nice, man.
Okay, so I'd say there's a difference between myself and say the other promotions like Wrestle Rampage or Riot City.
How many are there now
Now there's 4
in Adelaide?
4.
Why is there four? Shouldn't there be all together?
Oh, who's gonna run it? Who's gonna be like? Okay, let's go amalgamate. All right, what about my interests? What about my interests?
Yeah.
But I think it's better to to have
Yeah.
we share wrestlers anyway.
Yeah. So they're wrestlers. Let's just say, are wrestlers that wrestle on every single one of them, like
I'm exclusively to my promotion.
just to yours. Yeah.
Not that anyone's asked me to wrestle. For
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
either,
Yeah.
so-
But you just.
But
that's
I used,
just
so
you.
Wrestle Rampage different. So I was the first. I was our pioneer. This one, when the companies opened up to wrestle each other, like have you wrestle for the other companies. I was the first one we called Snake at the time. I'd wrestle for where he was at Wrestle Rampage or 01 or
EPW Adelaide.
NWA Australia, whatever the fuck they were at the time. And then what was cool is that I would wrestle I'd wrestle first match at my company, and then drive off over to there and
do another one,
do over there, and then come back for ring crew at my company. Yeah. And I'll do that a fair few times. So belts and all that other shit, that's all good. You know, you can be champion or whatnot. But what I like to, the stories I like telling and not I won't say bragging about, but just go, well, I wrestled on 2 shows on one night.
Yeah.
Some guys have done it now, but I was the first for a while
to
do it.
Yeah.
And that just it gave me that feeling of these guys actually like what I do. But yeah, with the training that I used to do, I'll be letting in more people. I'll be letting in people that wouldn't probably necessarily be training with the other companies. So I'll give them a go. I was told I was too small by someone, so I always thought that was something that if you're too fat, you're too this, you're too that. Well, I'll give you a go. Let you have a try out anyway. You try them out, then they do it right, and you put that little bit extra work into them. WB Bellows. If everyone, look at him.
How is he going?
Fucking, he was
good.
Struggled when he started, and he struggled, for years, to get his first match. And then when he first started wrestling, he struggled. But he's at Rampage now, but he's done a couple of tours of India. He's wrestled in Japan, and
he was good. He was a good bloke.
Yeah, good bloke. I'd love him. But if it wasn't for people like him, he was like, one of my better friends. I didn't talk to him that much, but if I was to say I got some best friends in this business, I can always. This guy Bellows is someone that I'll always call a friend. You've got Chopper Coleman, Kincaid.
That's why I haven't seen him for a long time.
Yeah, Kincaid is these guys I started with. We're all acquaintances, right? We all know each other. We're all part of a big wrestling group. But like I said, when it comes to good people that that I would have a drink with, or we used to fucking go all the time. We used to go to Oxford
all the time.
Smashed.
Every weekend. I used to go out like me, Slater, Jag, Coops. Remember my mate Con? Yeah. We used to go out with him as well. Cass, everywhere, man. We used to go out every single weekend with these guys, and especially after shows, we'd go out and we'd be all banged up and.
Well, like you were saying, man, you give people a chance. They told Lionel Messi he was too small, man.
They did, and look at him, man. Best player in the world. Arguably.
Well, listen, he's at one stage in his life, he's the best player in the world. That's regardless of what anyone wants to say.
But then again, what was he like as a goalkeeper? So what is he? Was he really the best player in the world?
Well, there you go.
Like as a defender?
There you go.
It's all. Yeah.
It's your opinion. That's right.
Opinion.
Exactly.
But look, some of you might know that I did some wrestling as well, and me and John E Radic did cross paths.
I've actually got a footage of this.
A few times.
We crossed paths. Yeah, a few times. Well, I think we won one.
So I've got
in single competition. I won the belt off you.
I've got a footage of a tag team match, and in this match that I'm going to bring up, there's actually a current WWE superstar in this match. Correct?
Yep, Jonah Rock. He's
Jonah Reed.
Bronson Reed now.
Bronson Reed now. So I'll bring that up. It'll be playing, and you can still talk. You can obviously hear us still talking. You're kidding Bronson now.
Those guys are really good guys. Really good guys.
He's just got pushed in the head like he didn't see it.
You know what? We had a tag match. It was my last match with you. It was like. Remember the last tag match we had? It was in the Snake Pit Arena in the gym, and you guys took the ball and threw it in the pit. That match there was better than this one. No, that's when Zach kicked me in the face.
So that's big man Chris C in the blue. That's John E Radic.
Yeah, the crowd that's in Elizabeth, mind you.
The guy in the black
pretty rowdy.
The guy in the black with the yellow down his sides is the current WWE Bronson Reed.
The referee is my younger brother Chris.
The referee is Johnny's younger brother. There you
Yeah,
go.
this too.
It's all fucking rigged. Look how
Yeah.
skinny I am. Fuck's sakes.
How much you reckon you weighed there, Johnny?
Probably about 70.
What about you, big man?
I don't know.
Let's say.
You reckon you in your 90s there?
Nah, not
No,
90.
not 90s.
Probably
100?
100 something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Look at this.
Man, I was like at that time. I just come out of a divorce.
You just
I
loving
just was just wrestling every week. I had like
I
I
can't
don't know, I
believe
had so
Bronson
many
just,
wrestling.
I can't believe Bronson just jumped over someone. He ain't doing that now.
It's pretty small.
Oh no, he jumps now, man. Don't worry.
Does he? When I see him
Yeah.
now, he just looks massive.
He looks massive, but like I'm taller than him. But
Yeah,
he's
he
a
looks
big
taller.
boy, man.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
And he's a good bloke.
Yeah, he's come leaps and bounds. Like I said, there's two Adelaide wrestlers, you know, in WWE now.
Well, there's three because Vink,
Oh, he's there too.
he's there too. You know, what's his name? P&B?
Oh no, any Tony Modra.
Tony Modra.
Tony Modra.
He was called Tony Modra.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Best name ever.
No, his
in
name's
history.
Duke something.
Best name ever. In the
He's a
history
good bloke too. He's a good bloke.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best name ever in the history of wrestling.
This
Tony Modra.
hurt, man. Like when I remember like him landing on me coming through the ropes here.
Damn says this is wild footage.
This is wild footage.
It is, man. Chris has got it. Can I tell you, it's only like 11 megabytes big because of how old it is.
It's old, man.
So-
This is 13 years ago, guys.
2010.
10.
Yeah, I'd say 10.
Yeah. So do you still own that ring?
Yeah.
You still got that one? Yeah.
So
Oh,
that
that's
one-
this is your ring.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
at one stage, I had a 6-sided ring.
Yeah.
I still own a 12-foot ring, and I've got this ring.
6-sided. Was that like the one they were using in that
TNA.
TNA?
Yeah.
I used to like, I didn't mind shit.
Shits to set up.
It would have been,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I had another ring, so I've owned 4 rings all up. I only have 2 now. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't like this style ring because it's the spring one.
That
Yeah,
hurts.
yeah.
That hurts, man.
Because it's the spring one. Is it not the empty center?
Oh, you know what hurt more? Joe Greco's first ring
Yeah,
hurt.
I bought that one after.
Oh, you bought that one?
That's when we left. I bought that.
Yeah. That hurt. That hurts, man.
That was fucked.
There you go, guys. So that footage is there. You've seen the big man and Johnny wrestled each other a couple times.
Yeah.
From what I'm
Well,
told.
we're 1-1. I reckon. I reckon you beat me that time we Greek danced together.
Greek dance.
No, beat me twice.
No. You beat me that day.
Regan? Oh, fuck God.
No, you beat me, and then I gave you like heaps of pole drivers afterwards,
Yeah.
and I was upset. And then after we were at La Fever, and I won the title there.
Is it okay? Because the one we had was down. The one I remember the most was at.
It was like an amphitheater. It was like
Yeah. It's
yeah.
off Hanson Road. That one.
yeah.
Can't remember.
Down there.
Yeah, that's good. It's a Angle Park, Angle Park.
Yeah, angle part.
Like I had a lot of fun training with Jag, and having my match with Havoc. That was a highlight. But I had a lot of fun wrestling at Snake Pit.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Because the difference was you had more opportunity to be. So this is what you learn at Snake Pit compared to the rest of the companies. You can train all your wrestling moves and you can train all that stuff and then bring it to one show that you'd have at that time once every fucking 2 months.
Yeah.
And they don't have that much more as well now. But when you wrestle for on the company that I wrestled for, well, you also have to train your character. You also have to train how to react in front of a crowd.
Yeah, of course.
If you want to be Chris Spartan, was it Chris?
Chris Spartan.
Chris Spartan. Well, if you're out there,
How are you Chris Spartan when you're Icarian, man?
I should have been Chrissy Korean.
what's Korean?
It's a different. It's where
Not
he's from.
Korean.
It's where he's from in Greece.
Okay.
Ikaria, it's called.
That's the worst part.
Well, it's debatable.
That's the ones that are the same as the Massos.
Yeah. No, we're an island, man. We're
No,
not.
they're not near there.
But yeah, like we learnt how to become our characters and how to work a crowd basically. And one thing I learnt from the Hulk Hogan's and the Roddy Pipers and all that when I used to watch them is how they would look at a crowd.
Yeah.
He might look, and Hulk Hogan says it.
He used to do it like this. Like,
Yeah, and he'd say he'd look in a way that you thought you were looking at. He was looking at you.
yeah.
And that's what you do. You just kind of look at the crowd, and you've darted on every single eye.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you make them feel special. And then once you're out there, it becomes like I don't feel nervous anymore.
Yeah.
I haven't for a long time. The last time I felt nervous was there's a really cool tag team, Greek tag team boys.
Oh, the Parea.
Yeah.
The Barea.
They called the Parea.
That's the best.
The last, I got nervous wrestling them because like I got booked to wrestle. It was me and Acid. Acid Hayes, the one I'm wrestling.
Yeah, Acid, yeah.
Against a Pariah. I'm like, why? Who would book this match? Like, these guys are just like, what they do, I'm not going to keep up with.
Yeah.
And they very respectfully said, what do you want to do? Rah, rah. And they made me feel better, you know. But I was really worried that I was booked against these guys that they're
Quick movers.
really good.
They're good. They're really good. I've seen them wrestle. They're good.
So believable.
Yeah.
Like real wogs. These are the wogs that I
Yeah.
used to fight with.
Yeah.
You know, like there's eyes. There's
Yeah.
you know.
I wish I was around that time when they came through. Would have been really good. Like the Parea. Like if they were around the times that I was there.
See, you let your accent go then, so you could say it like Johnny.
Parea. They're good. I think. Look, RCW. I must admit, like I've been to some of their shows and they put a really good show on. I haven't been to your shows in a long time, so.
Well, if you on June 10th, you can go, man.
Yeah, come down.
We should go.
I don't charge you double.
Yeah, double.
Hey, come down.
No.
If you can get us in for
We'll
triple,
do a run-in.
If you can get us in for triple, I'm coming.
Look, Right City is I think the best company in Australia. I think MCW might be Melbourne Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
Those guys they're doing really well. But RCW's the best here.
I think production-wise as well, they're really good. Like
I haven't been to a live show, but what I've seen on video, Rampage does awesome. You know,
Chunky says Johnny has the best beard.
he does.
Johnny's got a goatee.
Chunky's wild.
cheers, man.
He's giving you a compliment, man.
Thanks,
He
man.
likes your beard.
There you go.
I like your typing.
Yes, there you go. Chunky is a Brisbane Lions fan. So,
He is.
you know.
That's a worry. But anyway, no, they're really good and like, you know what? I went there and I saw Cree and I saw all the heads there and nothing's changed, man. They're the same guys and
They've all changed. They all look different.
they look different, but like they're the same. Like
Old.
So
sometimes I think, oh, where's the dreadlocks, man?
Yeah.
So-
I think that's his best look. But
So Chris tells me, he goes, that Johnny lives and breathes wrestling. That's what that's what Chris was saying about you. Was there other things you were into, man, growing up, or was it just like, obviously, like we've spoken, you liked soccer, obviously, because coming from a Croatian family, you probably pushed.
Yeah. So I wasn't the best soccer player.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes we'd have a team that we could only.
Were you playing for Adelaide Croatian?
Adelaide Croation, yeah. So we'd have under 14s and stuff. We'd have a team that we could only field 8 players.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was still on the fucking bench, man.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was.
But did you like it? Like,
I love playing. I prefer playing school soccer.
Yeah. A lot of kids did, that.
Because
Back.
half of them were shit.
That's right.
Club soccer, they were all good.
Everyone was good, yeah.
But so I enjoyed playing soccer. Then I did drama.
Yeah.
I went to John Young Talent School.
I remember that.
And then grew up. Ended up just before like '97. I got held up with a shotgun in a fucking petrol station holder.
Yeah. Shit.
And, so that kind of took me from being someone that was really extroverted.
Yeah.
Very
introverted. Yeah.
And then wrestling come along, and that got
you back out.
Got me back out again. And then growing up, no one liked wrestling, and then I'll walk into this business where everyone loves wrestling.
They loved it, yeah.
But most of them all fucking dislike each other.
Yeah.
Like that. You're a dick, whatever. But yeah, then
sounds like a soccer club.
A lot of politics. A lot of politics.
Yeah, that sounds like a soccer club.
The thing is, I don't call it politics. Politics is different. Politics is me and you try and work together and make something better.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas bullshit.
Exactly.
Me trying to tell you.
Whereas they use that as an excuse. They do it in soccer clubs. They go, it's politics. When you know what it is? It's backstabbing.
Yeah,
It's bullshit.
Politics.
100%.
I'll say I was a good politician. I think a lot of the things that I tried to do back, especially when during Monster Factory times, I was trying to get those wrestlers that were in the backyard or that weren't trained. I was trying to get them to come wrestle for us in the gym show.
Well, you came and got me.
Yeah.
So you came to a show. Do you remember?
Sure.
You came to a show and it was at like where was it? It was on Whitmore Square and it was like a church.
Yeah.
And there was like lights and that.
I remember that.
And I fought I was Jesse Pandora. That's who I took on.
Yeah.
And the match just like went for ages and ages. And you said to me, "You guys doing okay, but like you gotta like there's no story. You gotta learn. Come and learn with us."
Yeah.
And then I had to think about it, and I messaged whatever, and I joined Monster Factory after that.
Okay, good. Oh. And how'd you go from there?
Well, I learned. I remember learning a lot of the basics properly.
Yeah, so that was the main thing. It was
Yeah, and I learned how to put a match together, and then Jag took us under his wing and took us to City Gym, and then we did the EPW Adelaide.
But even then, looking back at 2005, which means I'm only 3-4 years into the business. Well, no, I knew fuck all back then. You know what I mean? Like whatever I told you then, me would be going, "Fuck, you listening to him?" What did he know?
Yeah, but you got.
You know what I mean? Like, I might have had a better head on my shoulders about the business more than what you did at the time. But
still didn't know anything, yeah.
The way we all spoke, as if we were fucking top shit.
It did,
Hulk Hogan walked in on a conversation, or Vince McMahon walked in a conversation that we would have, and even today, I'm talking about how wrestling should be, right?
Yeah,
laugh us off and get up, what are you saying, mate?
Get out of here.
I remember, being in the back and someone's like, "Oh, the joint promotion guys are here." I'm like, "What?" And everyone's like, "Oh," and then, and then you try to make the show, you want to, perform in front of you guys because you guys were doing good shows, but
judged and shit,
and it was always, you guys were intimidating. I tell you what, like for me anyway. I remember, like, because you guys were wrestling for years and like a few years more longer than us, and you guys were a head trainer that was 60 years, like he was in the business for so long, 40-year veteran. It came across intimidating to us. When we were talking to you guys,
and it came across from you guys, and it felt to us as disrespectful. Like,
that's
you don't want to train. You're not training with Cole Devani. You should be here at the Monster Factory. Whereas Cole's thinking, fucking, I said 15 people times by $50 a month, $10 for training.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Up for the money, and he would have made more money.
Yeah,
of course.
But still, look, and it'll change. They're at the top of the game now. So.
Well, yeah, they are, and it's good on them. Like, I remember when they did the name change, and we were against the RCW name.
Greg Page says, "Hi guys."
Hey. Well, yeah, I was. Yeah, so myself, Johnny Pitts. I don't know. Do you remember Pettis? Yeah. Perfect Pettis. So those.
I met him once, and he told me that he was the best wrestler ever.
Yeah, no, he's not.
He told me that he was meant to go overseas, and he got injured. And I knew he was lying. I didn't even know him.
But anyway, yeah, like we didn't want it to be called RCW, I remember, and we were against it. And then,
but someone else owned the XAW name was Blake Mitchell.
Blake Mitchell. What a story that bloke is. But anyway,
I like Blake. Me and Blake.
I haven't seen
each other so much.
I haven't seen him for a long time, so I don't even know if he remembers me. But I love this guy. Ben Johns was wild.
Yeah.
Ben Johns, is he still around?
Last time I saw him was the beginning of this year. January or February, I can't remember. But he came in.
You know what? You meet like in wrestling, you meet a lot of crazy characters.
Greg Page says, "I agree with Chunky. Logan Paul is the GOAT of wrestling."
Logan Paul's done excellent.
He's done good for what he does.
Tell you what, he's a better wrestler than he is a boxer, from what I've seen of him. He's good. He does some high flying stuff. Yeah, he's a natural.
And he's a natural heel. And
because of the heel in life.
We're talking about him.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon or whoever's running WWE is booking him, and he's put on a pretty good stuff.
But he's athletic. I'll give him that, man. He does well with.
But things with wrestling, you can have anyone that's athletic.
Yeah.
To be able to catch on and do what we
do.
Of
course.
Is hats off to it.
Yeah. No, he's done well.
Yeah. All right. So, what's your favorite match? Best match ever
that I've had?
Have you had?
That I've had. It was against Axel Impact at St. James in 2012. It was just good. Crowd was I just enjoyed it.
He was good. Good fella.
You guys have some matches at the old Marion High School hall, don't you?
Marionville.
Cosgrove.
That was Wrestle Rampage.
They still do shows.
They still do shows there, yeah.
Well, I think that my dad reckons that's heritage listed, that building, so they're never allowed to knock it down.
Oh.
When the school got knocked down, they had to leave.
Oh, because that was the Marion High School gym. Yeah.
So they had to leave the building.
Yeah, so I've wrestled there a couple of times. So my favorite, that would be my favorite. match. So not necessarily matches as favorite opponents.
Yeah.
There's some that like I'm like, ugh, I fucking roll my eyes. And
What is that because they hurt you or something, or you just don't match with them?
I have a feeling. I'm one of those wrestlers that can take not the best and take up to an average match.
Yeah.
Right, and because I work on their strength.
Yeah.
And if someone's really good, then I can have a good match with
them.
I mean, like I'm in the middle. Like,
but that's what I reckon Ric Flair was like. He used to get people up to
could wrestle my style.
Yeah, like make a good match even if they weren't that good.
Yeah, so if I was to wrestle Will Ospreay,
and
let's say I'll go to Will at the back and go, all right, we're doing my match, and if he thinks I'm being fucking hero about it, I can't keep up with what
you.
You're doing.
So you got to just mellow it.
Do what I do, and I promise you, I'll get you over another way.
Yeah.
You can do what you're doing with 20,000 other people.
Yeah.
Do something with me that's different because that's my strength.
That's my strength.
So yes, there's some wrestlers that, like I said, I'm not going to name the ones. You know, there's a few that just like I just don't want to wrestle them. It's just they suck. They do hurt you. In the wrong way. But then there's ones that are a joy to wrestle, and like the guy Acid, who on June 10th. I love wrestling him. It's nice and it's hard hitting as well.
Greg, I think Greg's trying to get under Johnny's skin, man. He goes, how does it feel that within a year he's a heaps better wrestler than you?
Oh, good on you, man. Like
he's in WWE. He's got to be good, doesn't he?
Who?
He's talking about Logan Paul.
Oh, Logan Paul. Yeah, he's alright.
But I mean, look, he's a lot younger and he's, athletically gifted.
They're definitely, but it's not that. They're definitely victims of, like, not victims, I should say, like, of where they are, man.
Yeah, but
in California.
Yeah, but hold on.
It's easy to get into wrestling if you're in America.
I'll tell you now, man.
If Johnny was in America, he might.
I'll tell you now, he won't know how to work a crowd like John E Radic.
Oh shit, the guy's really good.
No, but he's good. But like, he's good because he's fighting Seth Rollins. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think he can work a crowd like you, man.
He's a heat seeker. Oh look, he's
Johnny would easy win against you, Greg. Chunky's backing Johnny up. He goes, Johnny would smash Greg. He reckons.
I'll smash everyone. I'm Croatian, so
yeah, that's it.
I've got much chance.
That's it.
You talked about wrestling shit. You don't want to wrestle that. Are you game enough to tell us who was your worst wrestling match? I'm
not gonna say names. It's not fair.
Yeah. Not fair. Yeah. Okay.
No,
I thought I'd just say it.
No one has that. Right, but there's been ones where, like I said, I pride myself that I can grab a piece of coal and find that just make it a cookie,
make it a diamond.
There was one, and I remember looking at ref Alex. Like, fuck, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do.
Yeah,
it was terrible. And another one, a higher profile one where it's just, again, I'm not mentioning names, but it's just, like I said, it's a chore. When it's a chore,
yeah, of course,
it's fun, and like I said, there's others that I love wrestling with, and there's others that I enjoy working with them because they're they need a little bit of extra something, and I'll give it to them. Like, I'll give you an easy match, but but this is where we work the crowd. Let's work the crowd, because you're not gonna get that trying to remember a 15-minute match with jumping up and down like a Mexican jumping bean.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to say that?
Yeah. Why
yeah,
not?
of course. We might get the word.
So, like you're saying about the chore, has wrestling become a bit of a chore for you these days?
As I'm hitting the end,
yeah.
I'm like, oh fuck, am I really hitting the end?
Yeah.
Like, what I'm gonna do after is
you don't know.
Well, I'll still be involved.
Yeah. Still be a trainer or something.
I'll be wrestling under a month.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
You should be pure dragon.
Why not?
It's the whole reason why I'm retiring.
No, I'm only joking.
Yeah, but how many times?
Are you still going to be a trainer or something? Like,
well, there's a possibility I've got training to be there. I can do it.
Yeah.
I'm probably looking at hosting. Or,
yeah, fair enough.
Doing that side of things.
Yeah.
Which is I've always wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Now, I have a vision of what my career would look like after I finish wrestling.
Yeah.
So the character that I am. That's what I need. I need to be that character out in front of people. And I think that's I think what draws the people to me is the character, not the wrestler. They're not, the things I do in the ring.
Doesn't matter.
I think that's what draws it. It's
Yeah, it is your character's.
Well,
awesome,
I
man.
agree. That's what I was saying to you. It's like people don't like Stone Cold because of the wrestling. They like him because he's the baddest SOB. You know what I mean?
Course.
Like that's
Rock, Hogan, all those guys.
That's right.
Yeah, they didn't kill themselves in the ring because they found they found what worked. So that's the main thing.
The reason I ask that question is because people always ask me about soccer, like when you're going to retire, and I say, man, I'll retire when it becomes a chore.
Yeah.
You know, when I know it's like, and that's true though. When you know it's a chore doing something that you love, you know it's time to.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll
probably give it up.
I watched the videos back, and I'm out. I'm not in the best shape.
Yeah.
Around the shape.
Yeah. It's a shape.
Getting old, waking up sore knees and stuff like that. You know, I've still got young kids. That want to jump on the trampoline and stuff. I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Because by the time I've healed up from the last match, the next match is on. Whereas before it used to be once a week and more than once a week. And sore was probably normal. I didn't know what
of course.
healthy was. But yeah, I'll enjoy the break, but I'm still be involved. Not leaving the wrestling business.
So Damien Slater,
Damien
World
Slater.
Beater Wrestling says, I have a question for Johnny. Who would win a fight, Shawn Michaels or Huey Whitman?
I think Shawn McMichaels.
Damien Slater.
Shawn McMichaels, sorry,
I can read it.
Or Huey. Oh, you can read it up there. It's up there. It is up there. Or Huey Whitman.
Shawn McMichaels. I'm not sure. I think Huey Whitman. I'd have to ask Cole. I'd have to have a seance with him, and I'm sure he would tell me at least 8 or 9 times.
Well,
Damien Slater, I love the guy.
Damien,
he is. I reckon one of the best wrestlers.
Damien, why don't you come on the HFD podcast? And tell us,
he
man?
was going to come on a food review one time.
Gross. That's like you say.
Hey, Damien, you should come onto a podcast one night and you can tell us, man.
He's awesome. Good bloke. We had some good times together.
Tell you one story about Damien Slater and Jason Cooper.
So World Beater Wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the outside of wrestling, and this is something I'll never forget about him, and this is how I rate him as a human being. Had an issue with some wrestlers where they totally didn't want anything to do with us because we were no longer wrestling with them.
Fair enough.
And I saw those wrestlers, and they totally no-sold us. And I was like, wow, they're just not talking to us, like at a nightclub. And I'm like, then I see Slater and Cooper. I'm like, they're gonna do the same thing. I really like those two guys.
Yeah.
And then I saw them. They go, hey, my hand. They don't give a fuck what they don't tell us. We don't pick our friends and rah rah.
Yeah, that's good.
So, yeah,
I remember that.
I'll forever remember that. Yeah.
That's good.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those days.
So, and those days are gone.
Nah, look.
But it all got better after, which was good. But just that.
Showed what type of person he was.
Fuck yeah. But
yeah.
It was really. Yeah, it was a really down time. It was a Pearl Harbor job. I didn't know it was happening.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Last week we're hanging out. We're all cool, and now it's just getting no-sold.
It's weird when people don't talk to you because of other people tell them not to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you don't know what's going on. You're like, what the fuck? You're like,
nah, those two blokes, especially Coops and Slater, they're top guys. And I mean, we used to have a lot of fun going out, partying every weekend. Yeah, good time.
Chunky Footy says, do you get the big bucks, Johnny?
Yeah. Yep, let's look at my kicks.
Nothing wrong with ASICs.
Australian wrestling doesn't have big bucks in it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a stepping stone to go further. I mean, I don't know what other companies are. I wouldn't have a clue. But I'm probably get paid $5.
What do you do outside of wrestling, man, if you don't mind me asking?
That's what I do. I'm a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
I remember when I used to wrestle for you at Snake Pit, you used to pay us.
Yeah, did I?
Yeah, but I used to say, I don't want it, put it into the
company.
Cool. But I remember you used to give us it wasn't much.
Are you trying to get a hashtag?
But it was like, I remember you
hashtag nice guy for that?
Hashtag nice guy.
Chips? Or was it wedges, man?
Damien Slater.
You used to.
Damien Slater, World Beater, says the Oxford.
The Oxford was wild.
Is that where it was?
Yeah, Oxford.
No. It was actually at, I reckon it was.
It's probably London Tavern or Mansions.
Synagogue.
You know what's so funny about church and synagogue? Yeah. The guy you met tonight in there,
Yeah.
He was probably DJing.
Was
He's
it?
like one of the top DJs in Adelaide.
For years.
I
Years,
I
man.
used to go out in front of heaven before I was 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then fucking
Well,
fly-
he's been
fly with
DJing. He's
heavers
not
and stuff.
DJing anymore, but he was DJing for good over 20 years.
Was he?
Yeah,
No.
everywhere. Savvy,
Well, probably what I
Heaven,
mean,
Synagogue, Church, everything, Planet, everything.
Oxford, Planet,
Planet was the best. I love.
That was-
I love Planet.
Office.
The Office.
Office.
Yeah, I remember The Office.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other one?
Big Ticket, but I that stopped. The
Would
black-
you
the
fight
black
a
rose.
monkey or a kangaroo? Is a question you've got.
Depends on the monkey. Kangaroo, fucking.
Kangaroo would be tough.
I
Depends how big. If it's
Kick
one of those
a
big
lot.
reds.
Dude, they'd both be tough, bro.
If it's a wallaby, I'll take a wallaby.
Yeah, they'll both be tough, man. A monkey or a kangaroo. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, be specific. What is it?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
monkey?
It's not as an orangutan. I'm a bit scared now.
Damien Slater. What a Levendi.
Oh, Damien Slater, man, you got to make an appearance, I think.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Well, he lives in Perth now, so
That's
maybe
alright,
when
we
he's
can-
back in Adelaide,
We can bring him over. We can put him in a little.
Yeah, no, he's a like I remember. He's very technical, like the way he wrestles, and he's awesome.
He's the first Nicole Devani group to
Yeah.
wrestle with WWE.
Okay.
Yes, he did the
How old is he?
Cruiserweight.
How old's Damien?
about 18.
He was young when
like 30?
we were going out with him. He was like 19,
Yeah,
20.
yeah.
Young.
Now he's like 30.
He'd be
Yeah,
about
yeah.
30.
Ask him.
So he's young. Damien, man, tell us.
18, 19.
You're 19?
We're all good friends, man.
That was good.
Nah, we were
that
good
was
friends.
the best time. Like,
Dude, those years were some of the best years of my life. Some of
yeah,
the best years.
Enjoyed it heaps. But yeah, it was the wrestling part was awesome. The training part was
Yeah.
awesome.
The friends.
We're all friends.
Yeah.
I know, man.
Went to
What's-
Darra a bit, but then went
You know
on.
what? You know what?
What's-
Like sometimes I regret not staying with them and keep going because who knows what could have happened with me with the wrestling. But I stopped. I went to Perth. I didn't really do anything in Perth.
You told me a stupid story, man,
Yeah.
as to why you stopped before I asked you.
What did I say?
You said you stopped because you thought you hurt someone in training.
Yeah, like I was at EPW and I thought I accidentally like dropped him. Oh, I can't remember who it was. It was a trainee, and then after that, I was like, man, I can't do this anymore, man. And I felt bad.
And I've seen people break people's legs at soccer training.
You know when you're like out of,
This is where you're giving someone.
Yeah, no.
yeah,
but-
like I didn't hurt him. Like they were
You know.
fine, but like it could have been
Quite
done easier. And I after
but
that,
that's-
I was like, man, maybe I can't do it anymore, and that was it.
I've seen someone break their fucking neck, man.
I can imagine, but
Nah.
but the thing is, I say this about wrestling, all sport. You take the risk. Like I've had some
Yeah.
serious injuries from soccer,
Yeah.
and I never like hold a grudge to it because I'm taking the risk to play.
Oh, if someone's a slide tackle and
Yeah.
you step the wrong way because
Yeah.
you try to move the ball and the studs come up
Yeah.
and bang,
Like
you get
it's-
caught. Wrestling's a controlled environment.
Yeah, I know, I understand, but there's still injuries.
But
Yeah.
soccer and football. Would
Yeah, I know, of
be,
course.
more dangerous.
Yeah, of
than
course.
professional
Yeah, of
wrestling.
course.
Yeah, but
What's the worst injury you've had?
uh,
Any
Jump-
long term? Like you had any?
I'd say just niggling stuff.
Yeah,
The
niggles.
worst was I jumped off the top rope and I landed on my left knee and I just heard this
The cartilage.
noise. Yeah, it just ripped.
Yeah.
I never went to the doctor.
That's definitely cartilage. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. Then went to doctor. Went to chiropractor. And
Yeah.
he just goes, "What are you seeing me for?"
Yeah.
Just fix my back up. Another one was a bin across my head here.
Yeah.
At a birthday party show for the kids. Wrestler just goes bang, and I just feel this.
I could see you got a scar.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
there.
right in the
And his
middle,
hip
yeah.
Bin's got the exact same.
Yeah. The bin looked way worse.
Finished the match.
Yeah.
I pinned him 1, 2, 3, and went straight to the hospital. And got stitches, or whatever the fucking tape thing.
Yeah. The butterflies.
But yeah, I've had so many niggling ones.
Yeah, niggles.
Yeah.
That take their toll.
That I've only hurt one. I think I've only hurt one person bad. That was Blase. I hit him with not a folding chair, but just those school fucking plastic chairs.
Oh.
I was supposed to pull it back, but it's just the legs are heavy. 'cause
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
steel.
yeah.
And I hit him right on the edge of the knee there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's fucking so much pain. He didn't wrestle for a long time, so I feel bad about that one. I feel bad about it for a couple of seconds.
You feel bad when you
Couple
hurt
seconds.
someone. When you hurt someone in wrestling, and like you've been training and you hurt them, like you feel so bad.
Yeah.
Like I felt terrible after that, and I guess that kind of not scared me away, but I just like I'm just gonna maybe it's not for me anymore. But when I remember when I said I was gonna leave Jag, like when I said that and I said I'm not coming back, I reckon that point there, I said I should like. I don't know if I kind of regret it. I wish I stayed with it and not let fucking dramas like But shit happens, and here we are.
Happens. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, look.
But I'm glad, like after I got divorced and that, I got to come and just come into the snake pit a little bit and have some fun.
Like,
yeah,
the
it was
snake
fun.
pit was good because like we had.
Did they ever make you run?
Well, you know what? This guy's genius.
Did they ever make you run at the snake pit?
No. Oh no, not that snake pit.
Oh, good.
But no. But you know what was genius?
That's fucking terrible.
You know what was genius about what Johnny did? He used to do birthday parties. Now I don't know if you still do them.
No.
But that's genius, man. Kids used to come on a Saturday, and it was like a wrestling party. So oh man, my kids would love that right now.
I reckon Blake Mitchell came with it first, but he did it differently. Mine was, I did it where we had a show. I think he had it way different. Like,
yeah,
but, that's where I got the
Uncle Todd says, "Who the man?"
Uncle Todd. There we go.
Uncle Todd, what a nice guy.
No, Uncle Todd.
Todd, yeah.
Yeah, wrestling injuries and stuff. I've seen a broken neck. That's the worst I've seen.
Yeah.
But people, we're all like Hulk Hogan doing the leg drop for all those years. He's
got repercussions and from his back from it. His discs will be fucked.
Difference was he got paid millions and
millions,
of dollars to be that way. We've got paid fuck all to be that way when we're older. So
yeah, but at the end of the day, man, you can sit down and say, was it worth it? Yes.
We'll see. We'll see in a couple of years.
People, that's true though. We say that here, like it's like about with soccer and that. It's like
I'm not as high risk as a lot of the others.
Yeah.
So my injuries might be, or my soreness might go
away.
Might be as bad.
Might be muscular. It might not be.
Oh, I saw like David Stormer here. Like he's got a neck brace now. So I hope he hurt himself. So I hope he's recovering well. And I mean that's the thing. Like one little mistake. Well, I don't know what happened. I don't know what actually happened with it. But I hope he gets better. And just gotta like if you are wrestling.
Uncle Todd says, haha, on you, Johnny. Shaney-O from PWSA with Granddad. Hee.
Shaney-O.
That's who Uncle Todd is, I'm guessing.
Uncle Todd's wild.
Saying he's Shaney-O from PWSA in brackets with Granddad.
Okay. Shaney-O. Yo.
So, like, because there's an audience, right? Mm-hmm. If someone wants to get into wrestling, say they want to come to your school, what's the best way to approach it? Do you have tryouts?
Okay,
anything like that?
There's a possibility. I haven't had training school for 5 years. That's going to change hopefully in July.
When you retire.
Yeah. So, so there is. That hasn't been announced yet.
Yeah.
Because all the T's haven't been dotted and all the I's haven't been crossed yet.
Yeah.
But we'll be starting a training school in July. But that information, if they want to get in contact, they can contact Pro Wrestling South Australia on the Facebooks, and then just hold on to your horses for a little bit.
Yeah.
I had a phone call. Have a phone call tomorrow to find out how that's going to work. But we've got another wrestling ring that'll be set there all the time. That's not the one that we always wrestle in. It's a proper spring one. Uncle
Todd is saying thanks, man.
That's all right.
Well, that sounds good, man. It's, like if that all works out, like they can follow you on like Facebook to.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, I don't know, Facebook. I don't do much of
socials. Yeah, I couldn't find you much on Instagram or anything like that.
Instagram, I don't know on Instagram.
No, I couldn't find you on there. Yeah.
He's like our equivalent of Johnny Lawrence, man.
Yeah, he is. You're Johnny Lawrence, man, from Karate Kid.
You know Karate Kid, Johnny Lawrence?
Put him in the bottom.
Yeah.
That's right. There's no shit in Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
Cobra Kai.
You know, but he like doesn't know. He's like he like doesn't have. He's got like Facebook, and they go, "Does he know his one follower is you?"
Well, I think about getting into politics later. So being on Facebook, and Twitter, and all that stuff.
Yeah, you will. It'll help you.
It's not. Or no.
I'm voting John E Radic 1.
Yeah, I did go for the council in 2010. And I didn't even campaign or nothing.
Yeah,
didn't even put a picture in for the thing. I still got like 40 votes or something.
That's all right.
You should have just went to Croatia, man, to Adelaide, to Raiders, and just said, vote for me. They all vote. They all back, dude.
Yeah, that's what you should.
All the Greeks go to the soccer clubs and do what they.
I'll vote for you, man. 100%.
But the one thing with the Croatian community,
they'll back you.
They did not like wrestling. That wasn't bad.
No, but I mean, they'll just back you.
To
politics, something.
I see at the end.
Yeah. Exactly.
I got a DIC, so
Doesn't matter.
Um,
The thing is, I always say that about them. Like at Croatia, they got a killer ground in that there now. Like,
doing the World Cup girls.
yeah, but like the thing about them was they got together. All of them. Remember, I say this: the Greeks were bad at it. They all got together and they're like, "Oh, let's get a bricklayer that's Croatian, all this, right, and get them all to donate it. Get this killer ground." Whereas the Greeks are like, "Fuck you, I'm Messinian, I'm this, I'm that, I'm."
That's
know?
That's my generation of friends.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah, no, I know. I knew a lot of them. Yeah.
Kuzmans,
Yeah, I knew a lot, heaps of them, man.
Yeah, so those guys, they did a killer job.
They did,
down
man, and it's because they all wanted to help their community.
there. Yeah, so they
Whereas,
club, which
yeah.
was down at Ridleyton.
Yeah, I remember. I used to play there young.
But yeah, we used to play at Hanson Reserve.
Yeah, I remember.
Cycle. Yeah, so. But yeah, I used to love playing soccer for them, but I've lost touch with them because of wrestling.
Yeah, fair enough. That's okay.
Wrestling's the thing.
But they're the type of guys you see, and it's like you've known them. You just,
yeah, when you see
hey
them,
man, it's like you seen each other last week. Yeah.
Yeah. All the Serbs and stuff we used to fight back in the day. You see them now. And go,
Exactly. It's the same. Yeah, I know. It's funny, isn't it? Yeah.
I used to hate them.
They did. It was true.
And now you love
they're like, man, you know how many? I've got these old. Some of them that have been my coaches, like Croatians, Serbians, right? There's a Bosnian, a Croatian, a Serbian. They're all best mates.
I know the joke. Oh, it's okay.
But they're actual best mates.
But yeah,
It is a joke too.
Yeah. The thing with like you know, listening to your other podcast talking about Djokovic.
Yeah.
Like, fucking because he wanted, he was anti
whatever he was, whatever his beliefs were.
Yeah. I fucking loved him.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
Because you had the same beliefs.
but
Yeah.
you're also just sticking it up.
Sticking up for himself
Stuff
as well.
for
Yeah.
himself, for something that a couple years later, he ended up being looked after.
well, talking about like getting into that subject, when in 2020 when COVID hits, were you still doing shows?
Yeah.
How did that impact like you? Like,
Right, so a little bit different with me. I was probably the only company that didn't have a leased place. Like you've got so Blas, he had a venue. He just signed in, and couldn't have any trainees come in there, and we couldn't run shows in there, and it hurt him a lot. Whereas for me, it was I'm a per show.
so you hire it as you go.
Yeah. I keep our ring there. We got we hire just the area to keep our ring packed in there. So it's not up, it's just packed in a room. But we didn't get charged for that. But yeah, that's how it affected us. We got 6 shows.
Yeah.
And then when they introduced, they said, "Oh, you have to start wearing masks." Then for the first month, we said, "No, we're not going to do it. We're not telling our fans to wear masks."
Fuck, I hated the masks, man.
Yeah, maybe I wore them for the first month, but like I said, just took them off.
I hated them. It was the one thing
The worst.
I hated out of all of it.
Yeah, as a
Was the mask.
The mask
I
was
just
shit.
hated it. It was.
It's a proof to not do anything.
Yeah.
If anything,
No.
make it worse.
And now, I don't have to wear masks anymore.
So I'll read a few of the chat. Chunky says, I think it's because we're talking about injuries. He goes, I'm currently recovering from a broken leg, taking a specky on a kid and jumping way too high. Badly broke my main leg bone and shattered my little leg bone.
Oh, shit.
So you're talking about your tibia fibula? I did that injury, man. Clean snap of these two.
Ouch.
And this was here.
Oh. So was there a lot of like? So you could just set up where you wanted, and then like it was fine. Like you didn't have to pay anything. You just have to wait until it was all over.
You have to wait.
Yeah.
So so that's how like.
What do? You just hire halls like
One
for a show? Yeah, for a hall.
Dinga Sports Centre.
I've wrestled there.
Yeah.
That's where this show is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've wrestled there. I wrestled Drigan, and I wrestled in a 5-way.
Yeah, the lights that are up.
So that's where this show is?
Yeah, that's what that show is.
So yeah,
That's at Modbury, isn't it?
yeah, next across the road.
Yeah. I wrestled there twice. Yeah, twice.
Well, we love it down there, which is good.
Yeah.
But so when COVID happened, it was it ended up being maybe 5 months of shows we didn't do.
Yeah.
And then you had to fucking separate people that weren't part of the group, and that was a big head fuck. And then to wear masks backstage, and we fucking just eventually just take them off.
Yeah.
And then some of the guys backstage going, you can't. You have to wear a mask. But you're about to wrestle someone.
Yeah,
you
no.
had a mask on.
It's like they were doing that in soccer. They were saying, "Oh, you've got to social distance," and 3 meters away they're tackling each other.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what the fuck are you talking about? Like it made no sense.
Yeah. So when people go, "You taking the vaccine?" I said, "I'm not taking any vaccine."
Yeah.
They go, you should, because then you'll give it to me. So, but you taking it? They go, "Yeah." What the fuck do you need me to have?
Exactly. If you've got it, Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Jeez.
It's living in fucking clown world. It's clown world now. The world is.
I know
crazy.
it cracked me up the whole COVID thing because I was involved with soccer through it, seeing it, and like I was the same. I was like, man, like if you've got your thing, like why? Who fucking worry about you?
I reckon I didn't get sick once that year.
You know what cracked me up the most? And this is the thing I always bring it back to. Do you know how long it took me? Probably over a year to know a person that got COVID.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Remember?
And then all
Because
of
it
a
was
sudden,
when they started just doing other tests, they were just telling people they had COVID. But at the start, we were locked down. Remember that 7-day, the whole lockdown, the statewide lockdown?
The pizza place.
For whatever.
Oh, yeah, that.
But I
What a
still,
blunder that was.
even to that day, I still had never met anyone that had it.
Yeah, not had it, but every time you heard about this many people died
Where are they?
with COVID.
Yeah, right.
With, not from.
From.
Yeah,
Never
with.
with. And, you know, the amount of damage that did to
Oh.
people like, I know someone whose dad passed away.
Yeah, of
and
course.
Didn't get a chance to see him.
Of course.
That's
They didn't
bullshit.
let me go see my
not
yaya.
from COVID, died from cancer.
Yeah.
But, well, you know, you don't want to, can't have him die.
They
from
didn't let
COVID.
me see my yaya for the
Yeah,
same thing.
Fucking
Yeah.
yeah. And then the amount of hate towards people that we did the protests.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
We're walking down and people going, "You're trying to kill my grandma." The amount of hate, man, that was towards people that's going, "What are you fucking worried about?
Yeah.
If you're getting an injection, but you know, you're gonna make them sick. You're gonna make them sick. You know, the news tells you is all bullshit." Right, everything that you hear from the news, they're just fear mongers.
100%.
They did it with everything, with terrorism. They've done it with this. They'll do it with the financial crisis. They're gonna do
Of
it with
course.
everything else. And fear sells. All right. And you know when someone comes up with they go, "Oh, the experts saying this," but there's also experts over here saying something different. And and the Twitter files proved and all that other shit that their voices got cut off and you weren't allowed to hear them. So I believe nothing that they say. I'm Croatian. We come from Yugoslavia, right?
Yeah, of
And
course.
Yugoslav government is exactly the same. When you're like this, talking about, Croatia, we want it to be a free and independent country.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful because some fucking spies around.
Yeah.
The same shit's here.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Yeah,
can't
of
say
course.
what you want. You can't go, "Oh yeah, I reckon it's all bullshit."
There's no freedom of speech.
Nah, fuck it.
No.
This is what it should be. Like,
Of course
I
it
don't-
should be.
I don't believe in racism, right? I think racism is terrible, but I believe you got every right to be one and say what you want.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know what you mean.
Because if you're not protecting that speech, then every other speech is.
Yeah.
No speech is violent. They go, "Oh, violence. Speech is violent." But I would say to people, I go, you should allow to have whites only wrestling company, right? I wouldn't run a whites only.
Yeah.
But
if someone else wants
if
to.
they want to do it,
Yeah.
because the market will destroy them.
Yeah.
The
Of
market
course.
will do that.
They
right?
want
Of course.
So
Of
you're
course.
like, hey, I want audience only. I want
Yeah.
blacks, gays, always come here and spend your money at my wrestling company.
Yeah.
So to be able to say, like they banned Nazis in having the swastika and stuff like
Yeah.
that in Melbourne. Like by banning it, you've just made it stronger. You just
course.
pushed it underground.
That's right.
But it's not because they're incompetent. There's a reason why they're doing it. They've done that because they know that you'll support that banning.
Yeah.
And then they start encroaching. It's like the tortoise,
Yeah. Of
Tortoise.
course.
But they'll finally come and go, "Oh fuck, there's a tortoise there." How slow did they get there? But yeah, your
Oh.
speech, my speech would all get
I
fucked up.
always say that to people. It's like, I say that, mate. Hey, if you want to be racist, be racist. Just don't tell me about it.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to hate me because I'm an ethnic, good on you.
Yeah.
You don't have to fucking tell me because I don't give a fuck.
But yeah, but
You know
now,
what I mean? Like, I
But
don't-
now you expose yourself though.
yeah.
If you're out there saying the N word or something like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
then we know that that's what you are.
That's right.
And you're not in the closet
That's
being
right.
racist or homophobe
Yeah.
or anything like that. So to be able to go out there and go, to go out and say, especially during the COVID time,
Yeah.
I think it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
You were straight away.
Oh, you were ostracized.
Shot down.
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
By normal people. So fuck it.
But now you're getting called racist if you boo someone.
Yeah.
Well, that's fucking bullshit.
Like we're in this world now where like
Dude.
anything, you gotta be careful exactly what you say or
I've been
what you
booed
do.
at Highmarsh Stadium. Was that because I was ethnic? It was just because they didn't like my fucking team. That's what it was.
Exactly.
Like, it had
So,
nothing
like,
to do with it, bro.
Anyway.
Changing cream cheese.
Yeah,
it had
yeah,
nothing to do with
stupid.
racism.
It was stupid.
And
It was a
when you-
guy's name.
Yeah, when you
Wow.
bow down to
Of course.
that, like I said, what's woke? Woke is like if you said something fucking 10 years ago, they're gonna get you for it. right? It's an unforgiving. It's let's pull people down. But what they don't understand is the wokeism will get you, because what you said 10 years ago was not.
It doesn't fly.
I mean, it wasn't controversial 10
Yeah,
years ago.
it
What
was
you
just
say
normal.
today, 10 years from now,
It was
it's going
just
to be
normal.
like, oh yeah,
Well,
it's
I was
great.
saying
Yeah, I
it
know
to
what
Chris,
you're saying,
to Chris, when they wanted Eddie Murphy to apologise for Eddie Murphy Delirious that he made in 1985
Yeah.
because he was paying out gays, and he was like, "Man, I was just saying it because it was funny back then.
Yeah,
Like it's
don't
not.
apologise to
Why
shit.
should I have to apologise in
Exactly.
2023, 30 something fucking years
As soon
later?
as
Like
he
it's so dumb.
apologise, as soon as he apologised,
He's fucked if he does.
Yeah, he would have lost everything.
That's why he did it.
Yeah,
He's
Dave,
like,
Dave
yeah.
Chappelle didn't
Yeah,
apologise.
well, why should he? Like-
not that he was even saying anything
No,
about trans.
no.
It's like, but it's almost like it's almost Simpsons where
Oh,
Lisa goes, they go to Lisa when she's a vegetarian. Oh, Lisa's gonna marry. Lisa loves a carrot. She's yes, I'm gonna marry a carrot.
yeah,
And they go, oh, Lisa said she's gonna marry a carrot.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
that mindset.
Yeah, of course.
Fucking yeah. So I'm over this world. I teach my kids fucking normal stuff. Take
Yeah.
them to Christian schools.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
fine.
keep them away from all this woke shit.
Chris
Yeah.
Goff says the king has made it. Chunky says, "Oh my god, my idol."
He
And
loves.
Chunky
him.
says, "How'd you do it about my leg? I did it playing soccer, man."
Yeah.
That's how I did it.
Well, any more questions, guys, in the chat for Johnny Radic before we wrap it up? Another question.
How is everyone? Goffy says, "I'm good, man.
Another question
The
is:
boys are good, I'm sure."
Is the Adelaide Open title still around?
Yes.
Is that the title?
Alright.
Is that the title you won?
That's the title I won.
Did you win off him?
I won it off Johnny.
I won it like 7 or 8 times.
I won it once.
Yeah, you shit.
This is like Ric Flair and Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
I won it once. But hey, look, I'm a past champ. You know, you guys should celebrate me.
So Johnny gave his Mount Rushmore before, and then he added it to top 10. What's your Mount Rushmore, man? We've asked you before.
Look, I'm gonna go because I watched the Attitude Era, so I'm gonna say Hogan, Flair, Austin. Oh, the next one probably The Rock. But then again, I see The Rock.
See, I don't think he's anywhere near it.
Nah,
But that's opinion, isn't it?
Ric
Exactly.
Flair, Hogan, maybe Shawn Michaels.
McMichaels.
See, I think Hogan,
Yeah.
Austin,
Yeah.
probably now Shawn Michaels or Undertaker, one of them.
Oh,
two.
Undertaker. That's
One
the
of
other
them
one.
two, just because of what they've
Yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah. Sorry.
And I'll probably lean to what Johnny said of putting Andre there as well.
Putting me in there too.
Yeah. And Johnny Johnny's right on top. It's like you add a fifth head. Johnny Radic on top.
I'm like the Statue of
Yeah,
Liberty
like Statue of
wrestling.
Liberty. But
You
yeah,
are.
I think Hogan and Andre, because of what if it wasn't for them, wrestling wouldn't be what it is. That's why I think you put him there, whether you like him or
Of
not.
course.
And then I just think Stone Cold was the best ever. That's my opinion.
I think he shaped.
Oh yeah, if it wasn't
that.
for him,
It wouldn't be wrestling. Wouldn't be what it
is.
is right now. I don't know.
Like,
When you asked me before what my favourite match was, look, if I'm not going what my favourite match was.
what's your favorite match on TV?
TV,
Yeah.
So Hogan Andre.
Yeah, WrestleMania 3
Bit-
when he
because-
picked him up,
Picked up Slam,
Yeah.
so I can watch that when I was a kid and not knowing,
not knowing what was
Right-handed.
happening.
and then still watch it today and still feel it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Best one after that is Hogan Rock.
Hogan Rock was good,
Oh,
man.
it was
The
good.
crowd was what
Yeah,
made
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That was so magic. And yeah,
You know why? Because Hogan was for years getting booed.
Yeah.
And then they started cheering for him,
When he
but
come
that was
back,
because of
yeah.
Rock.
yeah.
It wasn't because of Hogan. It was because Rock turned heel and made it like,
Mm.
he made everyone hate him.
So I'm
Like,
watching some of it now, and I love Roman Reigns. I think he's
yeah.
Great, isn't he?
I just think I just think his, pardon the pun, the
Yeah.
reign has gone too long with 2 belts.
yeah. I haven't been watching it from the
Like
beginning.
he's still got 2 belts at
Yeah.
the moment. I just think it's like, man,
Well, I watched WrestleMania.
Yeah, maybe.
And
Just
then
like-
saw the finish. I was like, if they made him lose it, then they need him to they need to surpass a few more
yeah.
reigns. Like beat. We have,
Or at least just get rid of one
Cody
belt, I
Rhodes, he
think.
beat, didn't he?
yeah,
he needs
Cody
to beat,
Rhodes.
He needs to beat
Like a Rock.
I think he's past Pedro Morales.
Yeah.
Then
They're not going to make him beat Bruno. like 10 years or something.
Hogan's 4 years.
What was San Martino was like 10 years or something, wasn't it?
7 years. 8
Yeah,
months,
7 years. There you go. They're not going to make him beat that. Like,
3 hours. But yeah, it's just that aura of a superstar, and that's what they don't have.
Yeah, yeah.
No one else. Has
well,
got it.
that's why I think Stone Cold was the best, because I remember at the time The Rock could do no wrong, and this guy Stone Cold come out and even shocked The Rock. I've heard him talk about it that he's the only person that ever got The Rock booed. Like we're talking about booing. People were like, "Fuck Rock," and started booing him because of how good Stone Cold. And I was like, "This guy is immortal." I was like, "This guy's
Yeah, Stone Cold was good.
And I loved Goldberg. I loved because I loved WCW. Like, I loved the NWO. Goldberg, fucking.
It just goes to show how, like, 'cause I remember him in WCW, stunning Steve Austin.
Yeah,
Remember him?
remember
Long hair, and
blonde
was like,
hair.
"Sick
Yeah,
shit."
But no, I loved him. Like,
Yeah.
in the USWA
Yeah.
as well, because you could be able to get tapes. And
Yeah,
stuff. And he had the markings of
something that was going to be good. Yeah,
but then Scott Steiner,
yeah,
when he became Big Papa Pump,
Yeah.
just that transformation,
yeah.
that
Just that change.
just that change is what you kind of need. Like Rocky went from
Rocky Maivia to The Rock.
The
Yeah.
Rock, you know, and not talking about Rhea Ripley as well. Before what she used to look like, she used to look like the girl next door,
Yeah.
and now she looks like a gothic.
Yeah.
She looks awesome, man.
Yeah.
Dude, like, could you imagine doing those things now? Like, I remember Stone Cold. Remember when he came out with the beer truck and he shot the McMahons and
Yeah.
The Rock with the fucking beer? Like,
Yeah,
Lesnar did it with the at SummerSlam with the
Yeah.
fucking he lifted up the
Yeah,
ring.
he
That was
did.
cool. That was
Remember
cool.
when I remember
Yeah.
like some of the shit they did was the best, man. But I think, like I was saying back to you, I think you sort of got to put Undertaker there because he went through
I
how
think,
many
yeah.
eras?
I'll take Shawn
Like,
Michaels
Undertaker's
out.
went through the eras. How many eras was he in, man?
Yeah,
Like,
I'll take Shawn
his
Michaels out and
devotion to the
Undertaker.
company, let's say, to
Yeah.
the not just the company, to wrestling.
He
Like,
couldn't have gone like if he
maybe went a bit too much, too long,
Yeah.
like his age. I
Well,
don't
I'm
know.
not sure about that, but if he went elsewhere, he
Oh.
can't. WWE owns the Undertaker.
Yeah, of course.
Gimmick. He couldn't have gone.
No way.
The overgiver.
Yeah, yeah.
So Undertaker, being where he was,
Yeah.
changed his style a little bit.
Yeah.
But apart from his ghoulish first few years,
Yeah,
which I
yeah.
thought was pretty
Which
shit.
I agree.
Yeah, that was like very cartoonish.
Yeah, I agree.
But how it changed, like his
Yeah.
match with Flair at the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
WrestleMania with Hogan.
Yeah.
Good, eh?
Hogan, Flair, and Undertaker and Rock stole that fucking
Yeah,
show
yeah.
from all those guys.
Yeah.
Just the difference on how they work.
See,
Yeah.
I actually loved his so-called brother as well. I loved Kane.
Kane's good.
Kane
Yeah.
was wild, man.
Yeah.
I think they could have pushed him a bit more. Like, I liked him. He was just cool.
Just always in that shadow.
Yeah, like that's what it was because they made him his brother.
Yeah.
He was in the shadow of fucking the Undertaker. Whereas if he had have just come as another, not the brother, just him as Kane, he wouldn't have been in that shadow.
So in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, they used to have a 0055-12308 number. That
Yeah.
was your fucking $1 per minute.
Yeah,
wrestling
yeah,
line.
yeah.
And I used to ring that up. I used to ring up my grandparents' place, and they wouldn't know. They'd get charged.
Yeah.
Undertaker, when he first come out, they said, the guy that would be talking must have got off the dirt sheets.
Yeah,
in America,
yeah.
And then he brought it back onto this 0055 number, and he was saying, Brother Love is bringing this wrestler called Kane the Undertaker. So I originally remember him as being Kane the Undertaker.
Yeah.
I never saw it as Kane.
Yeah.
But he was always. He was originally supposed to be Kane the Undertaker.
Okay. There you go.
Oh.
That's something.
And then they bought it as his brother.
Chris Goff says AEW or WWE. So he's talking about currently. Reborn says The Undertaker, surely. Chris Goff says Goldberg. There you go.
I haven't seen much of AEW.
Chris liked it, but you
I
didn't
like-
like it as much recently, you're saying?
I haven't watched it much, but I was really into it in the beginning, and I liked what they were doing because it was a bit of an alternative to
But I
WWE.
think
It seemed like a very expensive.
they're sort of making aren't they sort of
It
making the
is.
same mistakes that we said about WCW? They're like doing bad booking now.
Look, it felt a bit more indie in the start. I think now it's becoming a big juggernaut. Like they just signed Warner Brothers.
Both of
So
them.
hey,
Both of them.
Didn't WWE
Nah.
didn't WWE buy didn't WWE buy UFC recently?
Isn't
Isn't that true? Didn't WWE buy UFC? They're like
No, people that own UFC bought WWE.
they're combining, yeah.
I think AEW is great. Like if you like, you
I used to
know-
like the other one you said back. I used to watch
What's
it
that?
like 11 at night, like TNA.
I mean, there's a guy called
yeah.
There's a guy called Kenny Omega
Yeah, I
who's
know.
unreal, and he's fighting like who's he going up against? Like Daniel Bryan or Bryan
Yeah,
Danielson.
Bryan Danielson.
They're having like 5-star matches.
Okay, so what the 5-star match to you
It could be
is not what
Yeah.
I see, and this is the difference in.
could be
in where
different
I see it,
to someone
because
else.
I would wrestle a match where a finishing move is a finishing move.
Then you're done.
And it's done.
Doesn't have to be done 3
The
times.
next match before or after me have done Canadian Destroyers or this other shit, And I always thought, well, I'm shit because I'm getting pinned by a super kick, and these guys are going 1, 2, oh,
Yeah,
But you know what? I always think that, man. I used to remember back in the day growing up, Shawn Michaels kicked someone.
That was it. Done.
That's it. When I remember the first time I saw someone kick out of it, I was like, why has someone just kicked out?
Yeah, you have a lot of people in wrestling talk about psychology. They
I
go,
was like, why has someone just kicked out of that?
yeah, this is wrestling psychology,
Yeah.
right? And they go, this is it, and that's it.
Yeah.
And whereas I look at it, and go, well, it is for
It can
for
evolve.
what you're doing.
Yeah.
And there's like I said, under the umbrella of professional wrestling, there's different psychologies for everything. But yeah, the amount of like I said, like a Kenny Omega match versus fucking I don't know who that is. They're putting on really good, fast-paced.
They are.
What's the movie called? There's 9, 10 of them. The car movie.
Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious matches. When a Flair, a Hogan, or those days, right?
Could be technical.
Yeah, like a Bret Hart match.
Yeah, he was technical. He was good. He was probably the best actual wrestler that
I
ever
love
saw,
Bret Hart, right? And Kurt Angle. I think Kurt Angle's.
Oh well, Kurt Angle is.
Kurt Angle's
He's the best
if
wrestler.
you're gonna pick different categories,
Yeah, he's
rate them
probably
out of 10.
of course.
He's probably rated one of the best.
He has to be. Yeah.
But they're not gonna give you a car race.
No.
You know,
It's
they're
gonna be
give
technical.
Cole
Yeah.
Devani, you look at it and say, you gave him a headlock. Why? That's too much of a spot. That's too much. Headlock's a high spot.
John Moxley and Omega last week. Coffee says.
Oh, yeah, John Moxley. He's from WWE. So look, yeah, like AEW is more spotty, and it is more like
They
kick
make
out,
it on Botchamania a lot more than WWE does. That's
yeah.
I watch Botchamania sometimes, and it's a lot of
AEW stuff.
So,
Yeah,
I
they do.
remember-
They do. Yeah,
I
they
remember
do a bit.
TNA, and the only thing I didn't like about TNA was I never liked Jeff Jarrett, and I just hated.
Well,
TNA.
Jeff Jarrett's in AEW
and
now.
I have never liked him.
he's boring.
I hated him.
Boring.
He was the most boring champion I ever remember.
Jeff Jarrett.
He was just boring.
Yeah, Austin didn't
So-
like him.
No, well, don't make a champion that's like I don't know. He's boring.
Yeah, he's still wrestling, man. So
They
shit.
did that one match with Flair, the tag team match with Flair, Flair's last match.
yeah.
I didn't watch it all.
But look, AEW is growing, and WWE. It's good to have competition.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's good to have
But
two
they
of them.
got somewhere else to go.
Yeah.
Right, and when WCW went, and all it was WWE.
They should have kept
whatever.
WCW, man.
Yeah, they kept it another brand.
Like even if they bought it, they should have just kept it there to let.
I think that was going to be the idea, but
They
then he just
How-
wanted it buried.
He did.
Yeah, how we see
It was his
wrestling-
ego.
Yes, but how we see wrestling, Vince McMahon, I mean, he's smarter than us.
Of course,
when it comes to
money.
wrestling and
Of course.
business and
He's
marketing.
been around his whole life, hasn't
And
he?
he could
Yeah.
have had WCW and then competed against himself, but he probably
He didn't need to.
didn't need to.
Yeah.
He bought the video library for like $2 million.
Yeah, of course.
And then just fuck it,
He ended up getting the wrestlers anyway.
He'd probably buy AEW one
He
day.
ended up getting.
Well,
He ended up getting Hogan back, and Goldberg, and Nash, Sting, who were their main cards. So he
Yeah.
got them to WWE
Yeah.
anyway. So
eventually.
yeah, like
But
the minute he had them, you're done.
yeah, but
you
he
got
didn't put them. I mean, he gave Hogan the belt straight away.
Yeah, Hogan did. Yeah.
But the way he used them, he still put his guys.
Oh
up top,
yeah,
Whereas WCW
Didn't-
went the other way around.
Yeah.
Let's put all these old WWE
on top
wrestlers
straight
on
away.
top.
Yeah, like he didn't let Goldberg get. Remember, Goldberg lost that one you're talking about, the Elimination Chamber, when he broke the fucking
Yeah,
glass,
that was cool.
and everyone, but he didn't win the belt
No.
because they gave Triple H the
I
sledgehammer.
think Triple H is he's got a like, yeah,
Well,
he
again,
could
he's
be
been around-
Mount Rushmore too because he's been great.
Yeah.
Oh,
When he finished,
Not, I mean, like maybe not in the Mount Rushmore, but like he's up there. He's like the top in the
yeah.
top 10.
Oh, listen, I like Triple H, but I just
Like what he's done.
yeah.
Like look at all these
Yeah,
matches.
Yeah, but
Okay, this is
if
what
he
I'm
wasn't
saying.
with Vince's daughter, would he have done as much as he's done?
Maybe not.
Some wrestlers, like Triple H, if it wasn't for Triple H, you wouldn't have a good Austin.
Yeah, of
You
course, I
wouldn't have
agree
a
with
good-
that.
This guy, so
Yeah, I agree with
he's
that.
one of those guys that
Because he was a heel champion most of the time.
yeah, and people, a lot of people won't notice that is that he's
Oh, he put people over
he
a
put
lot,
people
a
over,
lot.
yeah. and a good worker, a good wrestler.
Definitely company man is how you put it. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, and that person is gonna. I mean, like, sell for you.
Yeah.
They're doing everything that's best for the promotion match self.
Yeah.
Right? That's the order it should be. You're doing it for the company. What's best for the
Yeah,
match,
yeah,
what's
yeah.
best- And I think he's done that.
Or he did. He like you're saying. Like I said, he's a company man. Like he used to do it. Like say Goldberg would go in the ring. Triple H, who is no small man by any means, would like cower to Goldberg and sell it like you're saying, sell it for other people. Like he was like that. I'll give him that. He was very much like that.
Flair's the same.
Flair, oh yeah, like Flair would cower to people when, like just putting him over.
When
yeah.
I grew up, it was dream match Hogan before
Yeah,
Flair, right?
yeah.
Hogan was Superman. They would beat everyone.
Yeah.
Flair, what made Flair, and this is what I learned from Flair, is when you become beatable. Like I would hold the big belt a couple of times. Only as the heel, never as a face. Right?
Yeah.
And I held that belt, and being so small, anyone that if I went up against the biggest wrestler, the chances of me losing was really good. And if I went up against, let's say, a mid card, average guy, the chance of me losing was good as well.
Yeah.
And the job was to make them look like
stars.
I would still win by count out, DQ, or whatever. Or I cheated, but the job is to get them going because I'm helping run the company. It
was like Rey Mysterio fighting Big Show and Great Khali. Like Big Show would always get disqualified or something, so Rey Mysterio could keep the belt. Because he was obviously mad. Like
a lot of people give shit to Triple H, going, "Oh, Triple H puts himself over." But at the end of the day, Vince McMahon's the boss.
Of course.
No one says they telling Vince McMahon what to do.
Yeah. Well, that's what I always say. So many people now. I hear everyone, and we're probably guilty of it a bit too. Everyone drills McMahon, and I'm like, man, wrestling will be nothing without that guy. Mm-hmm. If Vince McMahon Jr., who is obviously him now, never took over from his dad, wrestling would be in the bin.
Think about all the awesome memories you've had
from Vince.
Because you love wrestling.
Vince, 100%. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So every memory, every match,
100%.
every character, all come from him. I mean, I don't know what he's like in real life.
You don't know, yeah.
But he's, there was a market out there, and he produced something that we all love.
I think now he's getting a bit stale.
Well, it's just because he's probably been in it so long. And he doesn't give a fuck as much anymore.
I think change is needed in that company, but I think he did leave or something.
It already has changed. I mean, where they've gone with Rey Mysterio's kid.
Yeah,
how good's that? How good's Dominic? I love his character.
He's went to jail for one night.
Yeah,
I love it, man.
What's your best advice for breaking your leg? How did you get through it, dude? Just do the correct recovery, and you'll be fine. Trust me. Have you got a rod in it? No, cast is bad. For that break, if it's a double leg fracture, never get a cast because they got to do a full leg cast.
So I'm not a doctor.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's what it is because they give you a full leg cast back in the day, and then when it came off 6 months later, one leg will be like a toothpick and one will be muscle.
Yeah.
So they do rods now. Yeah, they have surgery.
Yeah. Well, shit. Breaking your leg and that's like the Sid Vicious break.
That's what I did. Yeah. The Sid Vicious break.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Sid Vicious. I remember him.
When he jumped off the rope, he landed on one leg and he broke. I remember watching it. I was watching it.
Snapped.
It just snapped and he was just dangling.
Well,
that's crazy.
It's good to have you on, man. Like it's been a good good podcast. If there's any more questions before we go,
what I'll do is
Johnny,
I'll bring up
the
promo again one more time.
So one more. If you don't have a wrestling gym, where are your wrestlers train?
Some of them are just old school. Don't
Don't.
The Kincaids and
They just don't need to train anymore?
No, don't need to. We've got other wrestlers from other companies that wrestle for us. And yeah, they just haven't trained for wrestling training for like fucking, I don't know, a couple of years now, 3 years, I think.
So they just know everything. They just know their work and that's it.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna, like I said, you haven't got the same show as what Rock is putting on. They've got a faster paced. Rampage has got guys that are stronger and a faster, different style of pace. I'd say that we're the most old school type style.
Yeah.
And then the other wrestlers that come from other companies will bring their style into into us. So like I said, when you're wrestling John E Radic match, you're getting a John E Radic match.
Yeah.
It's looks like bring something else different to the table. And look, we've got, like I said, 2 more matches left. I'll be putting everything into the next 2, that's for sure. Especially the last one. The last one's gonna be if I walk out in a fucking wheelchair.
Do you have the same? Have you got like a? Do you do the same entrance every time? You got a set entrance?
So here's Johnny's song.
Yeah.
I've originally first come out to Hogan's Voodoo Child.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a good one. Yeah.
So He wasn't coming out to it and then he came back to WWE.
Yeah, and he started doing it.
Then it was another song, I can't remember what it was. Then I stuck to Here's Johnny.
Yeah.
And then I had a gimmick where I was the Emperor, and I come out to Darth Vader's.
That's.
I was gonna say that because you and Wolf Dog
That's wicked.
were awesome.
Yeah.
Wolf Dog is a good bloke.
Now, do you know why?
He played that role perfectly.
Do you know why that's wicked? Because the Imperial March is the most intimidating, like.
Yeah, it is.
Version.
I remember when you guys were doing that.
It's
and
so. It is so. It's such a.
It is
dark.
Yeah, I've got another one where I think it's Metallica doing it. Where it's
yeah, that's the best.
John
That's
Solo.
awesome. That one, dude. I've got that. It's
I remember
awesome,
when you guys were doing that, and I thought that was that. I reckon that was some of your best work.
Okay, so I love it too. Yeah, so Wolf Dog is one of these guys that was a commentator.
Yeah.
Did some wrestling, and a lot of people thought he wasn't any good at wrestling because everyone was
doing different things.
One certain way of wrestling. And then when me and him got together doing this Empire gimmick, he was my part of my Imperial Guard.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's the best.
I told him, I said, you can do 10 things really well. Do those 10 things.
Yeah.
And nothing
Don't worry about the other things.
Now
Yeah.
you got 100% strike rate, and everything that you do is good on the mic. He's
Yeah,
awesome with his selling.
He's good on the mic. Yeah.
Very good on the mic. I think he's one of the best players.
I reckon. Yeah, he's great. I wrestled him once. XAW days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember that too. I've got a couple of XAW tapes at home.
Have you?
Yeah, I don't know how I got them. Transgression and
Transgression. I'm probably on him, man.
I think you are. But we used to break the plates and shit.
Oh, have you got that?
Yeah.
Me on nudes.
It's on tape though.
You need to give it to me, bro.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. I've got fucking library. I don't know how I got some shit. I'm like, how the fuck do I have?
You have it.
I need I want to get that. I had a last man standing match with nudes,
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah.
and I had nunchucks, and I was like killing him with nunchucks.
Stop telling people that.
Poor nudes. I love nudes.
I don't know how I got it. I've got a WCW run sheet.
Yeah.
Like,
Fuck.
That might come from the WCW ring. They left a ring here in
Yeah.
Adelaide
When they did a show here, yeah.
And Blake Mitchell bought it.
Yeah, fuck.
And then Maniac bought it off of him.
Maniac over him.
We had that for he's in the Young Rock playing Slaughter.
Is he?
Sergeant Slaughter, yeah, he's Sergeant Slaughter.
No way.
Young Rock.
Yeah.
Maniac. Far out. Wayne Maddy. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's
he's a good bloke.
He's doing acting. I think he's
Yeah,
doing
good on him, man. He's big. He's huge.
Yeah.
He's like a 7-foot giant.
That's good,
No,
man.
I wouldn't say 7 foot.
No, not 7 foot.
His
He's like
arms,
6.
His arm was almost as big as mine.
Maybe 6'6".
Very entertaining podcast. I personally don't watch wrestling, but I'll give it a try. There you go.
Who's that from?
That's from Chunky Footy.
Good chunk.
Yeah, look, let me just say this before we
So
go.
you turned someone, guys.
Let me just say this. I reckon the most fun I've ever had is being in that ring and everyone watching you. You know, getting cheered is fun. Getting booed is fun. It was just so much fun. I reckon the most fun I've had in my life was in that ring.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's surreal, and there's nothing else that can. You can't. Unless you do it, you don't know what it's like.
You
Yeah.
need to be especially with, like now it doesn't really matter because all cats are out of the bag. But you need to when the character you're in that ring needs to be the character when you see them out.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously,
Yeah, like kayfabe.
You can't.
Well, I remember back in the day, remember like they used to go on like David Letterman and they would stay in character because the cat wasn't out the bag.
Yeah.
That would be Triple H on David Letterman, not Hunter. It would be The Rock. Like
A lot of wrestlers think our fans are stupid. They're not. They know what's going on.
Of course.
Because they see everyone talk to each other on Facebook for the last 15 years, right? And they have them as friends and stuff like that. But what they do is they go out there and they get so invested, and like that's my favorite. My favorite part's the fans.
Yeah.
You can't go out there and do this in a training gym in front of no one.
Yeah, it's
and just
different.
2 guys playing.
Not like they did in COVID.
Remember the WrestleMania they
WWE,
did with
no
the
crowd.
The screens.
That was
Oh,
terrible.
We outdrew WrestleMania that year.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Like 100 people.
You did.
They got fucking nothing.
Yeah. It was like they were doing soccer, like behind closed doors. It was
Yeah,
like,
shit.
Who cares if you win
Need
a
a
title
crowd.
behind closed doors because there's no one there?
That's right.
First week of lockdown, like we did a video because we had a 24/7 belt, and we reintroduced it and did I went to Paul Roberts' house, who's our host of the shows, and so we're doing a wrestling match in his front yard. And go, and jump in the car and drive off. And lady comes out. She goes, what's going on? What's going on? You weren't allowed to be at anyone's house.
Yeah, back then, yeah.
Oh no!
Fucking yeah.
They reported you?
No, they didn't report us. But when I was worried that once we put it on line,
We're gonna get in trouble.
Oh
Someone's gonna
no!
fucking double
Yeah,
think. Because there was so many people that how they put the things up at the playgrounds.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
went there and played with the kids.
Yeah.
Fuck 'em. But if anyone dobbed us in,
Yeah, get in
it's like,
trouble, yeah.
they're the same people that would have gone. And Frank is inside the house over there. Aktung Gestapo. So, but yeah, so we did the 24/7 thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, we try to keep it alive for a bit because the live shows were everything just stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been
Yeah,
hard, man.
yeah.
It would have been hard. But then, like, look, I've got some really fond memories, and I'll never forget them, man.
Yeah.
Especially my matches with you. We had a good time.
Yeah,
We had some good times,
having
man.
two wogs together doing.
Yeah, that's good, man.
to be
I reckon, like, they're some of my best matches. Are like for me, like, I know, it wasn't anything special, but like, it was some of my best matches.
Yeah, so let's say the best. They can be favorite matches.
My favorite matches, yeah.
One of my favorite matches is a kid called Sticks.
Sticks?
He's trained with us. He's never gonna have a match, but John E Radic. And I took him and I said, you know what? I'm gonna pick your tag team partner. Your tag team partner is a broom, because you're as skinny as a stick. So I beat the shit out of him. Boom, boom, boom. The tag his broom in, and I got to hit his own partner with the stick. I got hit in the head.
Oh,
and the
no.
broom fell off top of me. Go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, fucking. That's one of my favorite matches.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
lost to a fucking
To a broom.
Broom.
So wrestling can be
Yeah.
going out there doing
Yeah,
things on
nah.
the spot, or you can go out and have fun. And that I've had the time of my life, and it's about to wind up in the next month.
Well, no, it's been good having you. Like, one of my highlights was with you. I don't know, I haven't told you, but there was a part where, like, we're wrestling, and I said, "Hit the music," and the Greek Zorba comes on, and he's like this, and
Yeah,
I'm
you've
like
already-
dancing.
You've already hit me with a pile driver or something, and I'm all fucked.
Yeah, and we're dancing,
Yeah.
and then
Dun, 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 dun.
like he stomps my foot, and he's like, "Hit my music," and then Johnny
Oh,
hears
man,
Johnny
man.
comes,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Ah, yeah, that was really fun." Yeah, it was like everyone was just laughing, and that's
But that's
what
good,
that's
there's
what
nothing
you
wrong
want.
with
So my matches were comedy. One thing I'd say is I didn't put on comedy matches. I had comedy in them.
that. Comedy in them.
Comedy in them, yeah. So like, so I was somewhat of a comedy relief, but
Yeah,
I
that's
liken
okay.
it to, especially when I was when I'm a bad guy. I'm Wiley Cody,
Yeah, yeah.
and the other one is
He's the
fucking
Roadrunner.
Roadrunner, and everything that I did, and when it looked like I'm fucking gonna blow him up with a rock,
Yeah.
then
Something happens.
Yeah.
It fails.
and it fails, and the crowd would.
They love it.
When I got pinned, 1, 2, 3, and the crowd's going, yeah.
They're loving it.
That cheers for me.
Yeah,
as
of
well,
course,
You know,
of
so
course.
that's how I saw it, and I prefer doing that than winning.
I remember I was facing Havoc, and I went out with some Greek music, and the place erupted because a lot of people knew me, right? And like that adrenaline, man.
Yeah, of
There's
course.
nothing like it, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
nothing like that.
tell you one story with Havoc and Jay is this guy called DT Carter. His name's Denver.
Yeah,
And he was a trainee, and he wasn't going to get anywhere any time fast. But I said to Cole, Cole, let him go out there with a John E Radic sucks sign and promote him as a trainee, promote the school. So I just wanted to do something with him, because he was a good kid,
Yeah.
I go, all right. So what ends up happening is I go out there, I beat him up, and then another guy comes out, distracts me, and then as I'm walking backwards, I get pinned 1, 2, 3. Anyway, so before that happens, Havoc goes dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun. 'Cause that's the sound of your career dying tonight. And I'm like, fuck you, man. Like, I know this is gonna work. I know the crowd's gonna eat this up, and I know it's not gonna hurt me whatsoever.
Yeah.
And like when everyone cared at that time about winning and losing and champs, and I'm not gonna lose to this and fucking just stupid shit. I went out there and I did something for someone that it didn't matter.
Yeah.
The crowd went nuts for it, and I reckon it's because of that it got me more over.
there you go.
And it had nothing to do
Yeah.
with winning and losing and all that stuff. So.
Oh, that's good, man.
I've loved. Yeah, this has been a really good 22 years of my life.
Yeah.
Probably on the downside of it though is when there was a show and a family member had a wedding.
Yeah.
I did the show. If there was, other things going on that I should have gone to, family members I should have seen, and then shit, they they died, or I didn't see them. I picked wrestling over that, and I regret. That's one of my biggest regrets.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I guess we all make mistakes, and
Oh no, I've done the same.
we've done the
thing,
same.
like,
Everyone's
I've,
done those kind of mistakes, man. So I
I've
understand
shunned
you.
off christenings and stuff to play soccer, and
it's
Yeah.
and,
I know what you mean.
And tonight's in my wedding anniversary, so I've come here and done this
Tonight's your wedding anniversary.
for my wife's.
it's bullshit. And the guy's been joking to you all night, and you're buying it. Every time he says it, you're buying it.
Oh.
Can't put wrestling.
It's the Greek in me, man. It's the Greek in me.
Paul says, Chris with nunchucks. I would love to have seen that.
Well, he's got the tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll find
There
it.
you go.
Oh fuck! I know where the tape is. I just gotta find the video.
Yeah. I gotta find finding
I've
the
got some-
VCR is
I've-
gonna be the hardest
Yeah.
fucking part.
I mean, I was good with nunchucks, so like I had they weren't real ones, they were rubber ones,
Obviously.
but when I was hitting him, like,
Still
did you ever see
probably, yeah.
Nudes wrestle?
Oh,
I mean,
I saw Nudes
he's a
wrestle.
great guy. I love
He's
Nudes,
a nice guy.
but he wasn't the most athletic guy, so we had to work with it.
I
But
loved his wrestling jeans. That's
the wrestling jeans was wild.
Yeah.
Nudes was wild.
It's
He used to love wild. He used
He's
to
a
love.
nice guy. I met a couple.
We had XAW, man. There were some good days. There were some crazy days.
It was, they're the same. Not to say it was fun for you guys.
But you know what? They don't acknowledge us, man. Like we were like XAW. No one ever acknowledges us.
Like who?
Who
Well,
doesn't-
RCW
who
don't
doesn't
acknowledge us,
it?
XAW.
What are they gonna
Because-
do? Just acknowledge it
I
out of
don't know.
nowhere?
What would they? When would they go? Oh yeah, XAW.
Exactly. That's what
When-
I'm saying.
when-
Why
when-
would
No, but like it's still part of the
they?
history.
They probably accept that. They probably do
Maybe
that.
they do.
Well, we got asked by Maddie to come and do a Royal Rumble one time ages ago. And then Johnny Pitts goes, man, we haven't bumped in ages. Like we're gonna be fucked.
Don't bump.
Do you know what I mean? So, but apparently their ring is like a mattress.
The ring's like is.
I could come. I'll go wrestle in a mattress.
Like I used to wrestle in the Joe Greco ring that you bought, and that was like iron.
So the
So you know-
Greco ring is a spring in it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That-
in the middle.
This spring didn't work anymore. My
Oh,
ring,
no.
on my ring.
Yeah,
like
yours
that,
was alright.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The RCW one and most of them now.
It's all flexi built.
It's flexi built.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're accustomed to my ring, or the fucking bump's a bump, you could bump on. I don't get it. It feels alright.
Whatever.
But if you're not and you're expecting to bounce a lot better, I can only imagine that it is hitting something harder and going, oh.
me,
yeah. The Greco ring had no
Me-
give.
Murder.
me and my brother George, in this very room, my dad used to have these couches where the cushions come off, and every time my mum and dad would go out, we would take the cushions off, put them on this floor
Yeah.
like a wrestling ring, and fuck each other up.
Yeah. Same.
Like George sends me shit now, like, because I gave one day we're at the back. There used to be before the subdivision that there was like a pool and shit at the back. I gave George a sharpshooter at the back. Just remember
killed
he was
him.
telling you, I fucked him up.
No, it wasn't Jericho.
I gave him the Walls of Jericho once and the sharpshooter, just randomly. I just did
Was
it.
Jericho hurt?
Yeah, but he sends me.
If you
he's-
do it in
he
the right
sends me-
position.
he sends me these memes now of if your brothers ever put you in a sharpshooter and
My
shit.
brother used to pick me up in the press slam.
Dude,
and then
we used to
in front of
fuck
his
each other
friends,
up.
Just
Yeah.
on the grass.
It just fuck you up, yeah.
Before we go, I want to ask this one question because I want to see what you think. I'll say one word: Chris Benoit. What do you think?
What do I think of him?
Yeah,
He's a good wrestler.
but what he did, yeah.
Terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible.
All right, do you reckon he was one of the best ever?
He was technically good,
You
yeah.
can't take look. At the end of the day, you can't. I mean, okay, so you're watching something. If you never told anyone what happened, you're gonna look at them and say, hey, "What's this guy like?"
Oh, he's a really good
Very
wrestler, yeah.
Now we had an option of going out there for a 10 bell salute after he died, and we all know what happened. So anyone do? I said, "Fuck no." I'm not
Yeah, I
doing
wouldn't
that.
have done that.
Fuck
no.
him.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
Look, I wasn't there. I don't know what's going on.
I still never would have
You know?
saluted that.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah,
You know
I'm
what
with
saying?
you.
He goes and kills this kid. People can call it CTR, whatever the fuck it is. Right.
Still fuck.
Well,
that.
Paul Heyman said like, I don't
saw
care
the
what
thing-
it.
I saw the thing when Paul.
Yeah,
Heyman
I
said
don't
he
care
was
what it
very-
is.
He was very strong. on it.
He's a little fucker. He
He
shouldn't
was
have done what
very
he did.
strong in that speech, wasn't he? Paul
He
Heyman?
was.
I saw that one too. See, a lot of people blame shit. Oh, this kid acts like this because the fucking this and that.
Yeah.
It's you're responsible for your
Yeah.
own
And that's what Paul Heyman says. He's like the kid because he knew their names. He goes, he said the son and the wife. He's like they didn't have a choice. Like
yeah.
So look, I don't know.
You don't. No one knows what happened but him.
Yeah, that's it. All I know is that 3 people died.
Yeah, that's right.
2 of them, like I said, they had no say in it.
That's right.
And the other one was a piece of shit, killed himself.
Yeah.
I
remember when that happened. It was fucking crazy.
Oh, it was bad, man.
So when it happened, when it first happened, no one knew it was.
Nah, not at the time. No.
But then people always bullshit stuff. I mean, there are conspiracy theories for everything. But there's one saying that it wasn't him, and look, there's some stuff that's far fetched going. There's some conspiracies, and then there's some full on ones like that. That you're just like, well. And some people just like, no, fine. I think he's the best ever. And I know. I think he's the best ever. Well, no, they asked his son recently, like, do you think he should be in the Hall of Fame? And his son goes, yeah. And I'm like, man, I know.
His son's gonna say that.
You're like, fuck, man.
I mean, look, if he didn't do that, he'd be like one of the most prestigious wrestlers.
My dad did what he did,
mate.
Right? I feel sorry for that poor kid.
Yeah.
Because whether he's forever tarnished.
Yeah.
With that name.
That's of course.
He wants to be a wrestler. He's going to the wrestling business. He's got a Benoit name.
I know.
That's a name that is totally.
Hey, you're done.
Taken away
from
WWE. It's
done.
He's gone.
He's trying to get into wrestling, though, isn't he?
But how can who's gonna book him? You're gonna book him for his name, or the kid, you gotta change your fucking name.
Damian Slater says he's 36. He says, yeah, he goes, sorry for the delay. I'm on Perth, dial up.
I remember he was 19.
I would do. That's what fucking Ted Bundy's son did. He changed his fucking last name, man, because he didn't want to live with it.
Because it's with Peggy and.
No, that. But the serial killer, because of the.
Oh, fuck yeah.
He's like, fuck, I'm not living with, and he changed the name. Changes still.
Imagine being a Hitler.
Mate.
You're his cousin.
Yeah,
exactly.
But I agree. Like, if I was him, you would. Fucking Greeks do it all the time, mate. We change. I've had 2 last names. Like, change your fucking name, mate.
You just have to change it because there's not enough ink in it.
Yeah.
Constantinople.
Anyway,
my dad's original last name was too big.
Well, Johnny, look. Love having you on the show, man.
Yeah.
Like, if you're always welcome to come back and talk conspiracies with.
Well, next time if we get Chris.
With Chris,
fuck.
This is what we're gonna do next time.
Me and you, if they're even here together.
Oh, forget it. We won't even be there.
We'll be like this.
No, we don't even have to be in it. We'll just produce. We'll just produce, and then let them go, man.
That's what we'll do. Right? That's what we'll do. You have to get something for the back of the chair because now you see how your legs hang over it, right? I've been struggling to not slip, right? I need to be fucking sitting like this.
Yeah, just sit up, man.
Have my legs like, it's not my back's. But look, I enjoy it. I mean, I can talk about other things.
Get you an orthopedic pillow.
I've got some in the car. Just something, but just fucking feel like slipping.
Oh shit!
He's slipping, man.
That's wild.
I've got my dressing gown's not making it.
The dressing gown. You know what? Your attire tonight was like on point. I love the dressing gown. I love the John E Radic old T-shirt. But it's wild. You haven't changed, man, one bit. And I haven't seen you for like 13 years.
Do you remember I used to go out with? We used to go out. He's Johnny Tops.
You did.
And I still pick up. He's just on your That's me on my T-shirt. Yeah. No, not really.
I just remember going out and being with Coops, and like Coops would go. There'll be like people everywhere, and you'll go, "Let's go for a walk," and you just like.
Jeez,
and just walk straight through them, everyone.
I'm gonna cut some rug.
Yeah, cut some rug.
Wow, was he massive? So
he wasn't. His shoulders were big, man.
Shoulders.
You know that song? It was like Kanye West. Where he was wearing that big box. That's him with his big shoulders.
We've had some good times, and it was great to see you again. And look, as I said, if you guys want to do a conspiracy, podcast one day with Chris,
call it conspiracy. Call it something else.
Joining the dots.
Joining the dots.
Is that what he said?
That's what he said. I look at it as
the dot connector.
Yeah. Just questioning
life.
Questioning narratives.
Yeah. Hey, look, we'll have you back.
Yeah.
We love controversy here at the.
I'm KP, controversy with a capital K.
You are.
So what I'll do is, guys, I'll bring up the promo again one more time so you can see it.
So come down to the Super Slam and the road to Super Slam, May 27th at the Carragher Sports Centre. You'll see John E Radic teaming with Acid Hayes, taking on the BFT, Blood Force Drama, Michael Weaver at Check Viper, and don't forget Super Slam, June 10th, John E Radic's final match as he takes on the PWC champion and friend Acid Hayes, and whoever wins will be the champion. And if John E Radic wins, he will be retired as the champion of all champions.
There you go. Heard it here first, guys.
There you go.
Awesome, man. That was great.
That was really good.
Chris, how'd you do that, man?
I mean, you know, I've got this voice that just, you know.
You haven't sold a promo in so long, you just busted it out. Fuck, man.
Hey, maybe I should get into the promo. Like,
why don't you just do what Vince used to do and just sit on the announcers, like, you know, and just make out you're a commentator, like he did. He owned the company, but he was just a commentator. Yeah.
Come on the pod, Damien.
Yeah, that's what I said. Damien Slater, man.
Well, Damien Slater has his own YouTube channel and he's doing really well. So,
well, we got to join.
Yeah, have you seen it?
No.
He like talks about wrestling and how to do moves and all the different kinds of stuff.
We've got to bring Damien. We're going to interview Damien on the podcast, I think.
I reckon if you watch his podcast, if you watch his YouTube channel, you can get into wrestling without even going to a school because you just watch that.
Well, you heard it here, Damien. People want you on, man.
I have 3 kids, and all we watch is Vlad and Nikki. I'm not sure if you know what that fucking thing is.
Vlad and Nikki.
Vlad and Nikki, 2 Russian kids. They just play with toys, all right?
Oh yeah, on YouTube. Yeah.
Toys. That's all I watch. And I'm sitting there like this. I used to be Peppa Pig with the girls, but now I've got a young boy and he's like, fucking, put on CK and toys, or put on Vlad and Nikki.
CK toys, yeah. Don't worry, I got 2 boys as well. I got a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. So
Paul's cracking up laughing, man. He says orthopedic pillow for the old man.
Well, one more question. Do you think you ever come out of retirement?
Oh, it depends. I mean,
you can do a Ric Flair and
probably
like,
in July.
July 10th, come back.
I mean, look, I'm retired, right? That's it. After this match, I'll be retired. Would I ever come out of retirement?
Maybe for a special match.
Probably down the line, like.
If Chris came out of retirement, you can come out.
Yeah.
Maybe a street fight or something like that. Like you have to wear your jeans though.
Yeah, I'm 46 now, and like I said, if this is my last match, I'm happy for it to be that way.
Yeah.
I've got no plans to ever come out of retirement.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's done for me. I can't do it anymore.
Well, congratulations, man. You've had a stellar career. I was fortunate to be in the ring with you.
You were very fortunate.
So I mean, you know, I had 1 win, and you had 1 win. So.
Well, he came here telling us that you won both. So
no, I didn't.
I didn't.
No.
He told us.
I should have stayed. I
shouldn't have said much about the wins and that. So
I shouldn't have said anything. But look, nice having you, man.
It was.
As we said, thanks for everyone that coming along. If you're brand new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Check out our merchandise. HFDmerch.myspreadshop.com.au. And that's it, guys. Well, thank you very much again.
Thank you very much, guys.
So good luck.
It's been a pleasure.
On June. Johnny Radic. I'm sure we're gonna have Johnny Radic back.
Yeah,
and
for the ratings.
He's not gonna say anything about wrestling. From what I can tell, when he comes back, he's gonna be talking. He's gonna be talking about 400 shit. So I told you, me and Chris will be like this, and Johnny and the other Chris Krillin can just sit there talking, and we'll just be like this, going. When they were talking before,
I could see it, man. The eyes were lining up.
They were talking, and they didn't even know. I looked at Chris and I was like, "So how's your day?"
All right, guys. Take care. Spot your hair. Stay hunky.
Take it easy.
Take it easy, guys.